Red, whenever you ready,
So I just
I
started.
guess.
Yeah, I could feel that the moment's coming up. I should hit record soon, so I don't have to awkwardly say that. Hey, let's start recording. But this
Oh,
is
so
all.
you are
Yes.
recording? All
Yeah,
right,
all of
sweet.
that. All of this.
Nice, nice.
Go.
So people actually got news in a timely fashion, and they didn't
No,
have to
right,
wait till
right
the end.
before, right when you paused and started talking, I'm like, this is the moment. Go. Into my brain.
Oh, so nobody got any of that news about Extra Life and prizes and all that cool
They
stuff
might
before.
have. I've already forgotten. I don't know.
Who cares? All right, so, whoo, it is time to play some Odyssey of the Dragonlords. So there was a hard question for Factspiration that got rolled on Saturday, and I felt like it was a really good question. And so I didn't even roll for hard last night. I just went ahead and used that question. I'd kind of like to use that question again, but I feel like you guys are too fresh, right? It's almost like you're new characters again because the time skip and stuff. So I'm gonna save it. I'm gonna save that particularly juicy question for another occasion. Instead, we're gonna check the table and see what is in store for us. All right, a nice easy question to start the session off. And that easy question is going to be all right. Okay. All right. How does your character feel about keeping secrets from the rest of the party? That's a good one.
Is that an easy one?
That's an easy one, yeah.
Oh wow.
You don't understand that the hard one was it was a real doozy. It was a real doozy. So since Hypatia is not here, they will ask this question since they're the most likely to keep secrets from everyone. So how does your character feel about keeping secrets from the party? So think about that while somebody gives us the recap. Unless nobody wants to do the recap. But there's a DM inspiration in it, if anybody wants to do the recap. Going once.
I guess I'll do a recap.
All right, sweet. Cyrus, take it away.
So last time on Odyssey of the Dragonlord, after consolidating and catching up with each other over the victory we achieved, we kind of each respectively went over what you've been up to. Phil is angry at all of us for not coming and having dinner. We decided that we needed to head to Aresia and talk to the Queen in order to try to find some more information as to what was going on, what was this promise of immortality that Narsus seems to have made. And also just to see about him, because we had not talked about how he had come out of the whole re-emerging of the dragons.
Mm-hmm.
So we get there, and it's quite peculiar. We're actually greeted and treated as welcomed guests and allies, which is very different from the first time we arrived here. And also, people seem to keep acting like Narsus is still his same old self, when we know it should be otherwise. So after Phil having a little one-on-one conversation with the Queen, he is able to secure a diplomatic and very well thought out conference between us and Narsus, kind of laying everything out without being insulting about it or patronizing about it. So some good work on his end. Meanwhile, we had Reset and Anastasia had some nice conversation with the artist who I'm horrible with names.
Pelagos. Or sorry, Pelagon. I'm also terrible with names. So
with Pelagon and got some information from him, and also invited him to come along and join the crew once we get reestablished. Which there's rumors that our ship that we had constructed for Aresia may actually be given to us to use. So we shall see what happens there.
All right. And I guess you guys left off. You were going to be taken to the Temple of Narsus under the cover of darkness, so that you could meet with him in secret. And of course, no oaths were sworn, but it is a political powder keg right now. Everything you do and say could have a tremendous impact on all the lives of every person in the entire world. No pressure. All right. It's a high-level life, baby. It's a high-level life.
Also, I do believe I did secure the vote in the negotiations. So
Yes, you definitely did. Because they can't admit that your reward was actually going to meet with Narsus, because no one has been meeting with Narsus. All right. So before we roll into that, does anybody want to answer this factspiration question? How does your character feel about keeping secrets from the rest of the party? I believe at level 16, that's a big fat D12, I want to say, that you get to add to your any roll.
I'll answer it if no one wants to.
All right, go for it.
Bill does not like to keep secrets from the party. He feels like we've been through enough together that everyone should have the utmost trust for each other. But he does understand when people feel like they must keep secrets, like they've got crazy machinations at work. Claudia. And he would also keep a secret if he felt like it would lead the party down what he believes to be the absolute right path. And if everyone was against it. But that's the only way he would.
Follow-up question. Are you the human player familiar with the show Supernatural?
Heard about it?
Oh, okay. There's a lot of secret keeping. That's kind of the whole theme of the show.
I always miss your like plot reference or pop culture references.
I was just checking to see if Philippocles would be very upset watching that show, because like literally every season of that show could be one episode long, but it's an entire season long because the two main characters just lie to each other and keep secrets from each other the entire season, and that's what actually causes all the plot to happen for 14 years. So,
Gotcha. Oh, well, yeah, he probably wouldn't like it.
But they're cute, so it's okay. So, I guess. They are pretty cute, though. All right, so I've already applied your factspiration status effects. That's right, we're living in the golden age, virtual tabletop. Next step is virtual reality at this point. And I will go ahead and prepare to bring you over to the Temple of Narsus. Right. Scrolling back through our history. Let's continue the music we were using last week because it was working pretty good. Okay, so late that night, I'm assuming you guys are staying in the palace, right? Yeah, I think you guys said you were staying. So yeah. All right. So Pyrrha of Aresia approaches your guys. You're basically in like foreign dignitary suite, so it's very fancy. There are servants and all that good stuff. So there's a knock at the door, and the servant goes to answer it, and then they kind of turn, and they introduce Pyrrha of Aresia to you guys. And then, with a meaningful look, all of the servants find other places to be. And when she's sure that the servants are all gone, she looks at all of you, and she says, "Chosen of the Oracle, it has been a very long time." And her gaze kind of lingers on Anastasia, and you can see in her gaze there is a bit of reverence as she looks at Anastasia. And then she says, "The Queen has told me the situation. I am to take you to the temple. Are you ready?"
Yes.
All right. And then she says, "Then you must hero stack. Are you bringing a B team with you?"
I mean, I think for B team, all we have is just Bullbug and Kyra, and Zamrax.
Okay.
So
I think. Let me see. Did I add Pelagon yet? Not yet. Okay, so he hasn't formally joined. I did write down his ability, which is pretty dope. But all right. Do you want Pelagon to come with you as a NPC? Would he have been I guess would he have been hanging out with you guys, or would he be kind of living his life, preparing his goodbyes and getting ready to leave Aresia with you guys?
That sounds better.
Okay, then he will be off doing that. All right, Reset. Is Arete coming?
I mean, he's a big dragon.
That's true.
So,
That's true.
I don't think he can
Okay.
really go there in cover of night.
When
Without anyone noticing.
Bullbug hears you say that, Bullbug kind of tries to shrink down a little bit, like to kind of like squeeze it in, because he definitely wants to go on this adventure, but he feels that he might be bigger than Arete. You see Arete staring at Bullbug in a menacing way, not like an evil menacing way, but in the way like that Reset stares at like a 20 squares opponent. So worse than menacing. Bullbug lets out a nervous little fart, and he says, I mean, if I'm too big, I could stay here too. I mean, that's fine. I guess."
I don't think size matters. You're welcome.
Kyra nods sagely and says, "That shows a lot of character growth, Phil. Wow. All right.
Well, I won't say it. Let's go.
All right. So now Arete doesn't want to go. They actually refuse to make eye contact with you, Reset. Do you try to do anything about it, or you just leave?
They don't want to go. Why
Yeah.
are they?
Because you made the mistake of telling them they were too big, but not telling Bullbug that Bullbug was too big, and now they're basically holding you to your mistake.
Because Bullbug is not too big. I
But
look at Arete and I say, "Do you see the difference between you and Bullbug? You're 100 years old. Grow up."
Wow.
Arete quietly goes over because they really want to see what Narsus looks like, but they're not happy about it. You know how teenagers are. They're like, "Fine, I'll go on this amazing fucking family trip, but I'm gonna fucking hate it. I'm gonna make everyone miserable." But then they have like a really good time. That's probably what's gonna happen. All right, great. So I was like, "I will show you to the secret tunnel. It's very narrow. I don't know if your big friends will be able to fit." All right. No, but seriously, it is a very narrow tunnel. I don't know if your big friends will be able to fit. Let me see. I mean, you guys have magic. Maybe. I mean,
The magic of
squeezing's a thing. Yeah, all right. So
the
Bullbug.
magic of squeeze your fat ass in there.
Yeah, Bullbug oils up, and let's see. Yeah, that should work. That should work. All right, I'll put you guys outside the secret door. Oh shit, you're all over the place. Okay, hold on. Damn you, hero stacking! All right, and I will just have, until there's combat, no one will control Hypatia. She will just follow Phil around. And Bullbug will follow Phil around. Kyra will follow Anastasia around. And Arete will follow Bullbug around, and Soul will follow Anastasia around. Yeah, that should work pretty good. All right. Okay, so I'll take you over to the map now. Let's see. All right, it was a very long, very narrow passage. It smells like oily bullbug, but you guys have made it into the beautiful, slightly low resolution, sort of bathhouse area of Narcissus Temple. You can see that there are many double doors leading out of the area. One of the double doors is open, and there is a gorgeous priestess, sort of just lounging in bed, mostly naked, romantic candles everywhere, and she seems to just be laying there in a haze of sort of incense, and she's playing beautiful music upon some sort of like dulcimer situation while laying down. It's very talented. You can see that there is a doorway, small stone doorway over here, and there is a set of double stone doors here. There is a staircase leading up to some double doors to the northeast. Beautiful pillars run floor to ceiling. The ceiling of this chamber is 50 feet high. Everywhere there is just beautiful imagery of the god Narsus being beautiful and doing beautiful things. In case you forgot, this is what it looks like. And so there's just pillars of like beautiful nymphs and flowers, kind of like climbing up each other in sensual ways. Flowers are blooming everywhere, water plants. It's just a gorgeous room. It's just breathtaking to behold. Pyra lets you sort of bask in the beauty of it all for a little bit. And then she says, "This way, please. Be as quiet as you can." As Bullbug steps into the pool and makes a loud noise.
Then steps out of the pool.
Yeah. She says, "You are the first to see the great Narsus, besides myself and the Queen. Even his servants, his closest priests and priestesses, they have not been able to look upon him in over 7 years. You must, you must understand."
What do they do down here then?
Oh, they compose music and poetry, paint. They write stories. They make love and record their studies in the art of love making. They philosophize on the nature of beauty and what it is to be beautiful and what it is to bring beauty into the world and preserve it. They feel the closeness of their god without needing to bask upon him. But there is a sorrow in their heart.
I see.
But let me warn you, his appearance is unusual. He refuses to speak of why he has changed forms, why he refuses to change back, and why he is so ashamed of how he looks. For I look upon him, and I see something more beautiful than what was there before. I feel as if I'm seeing the real Narsus, though that is just idle speculation on the part of a foolish priestess.
I heard he was fat, but guess that's not true.
I don't know if he is fat. I don't know much about his species. He seems to have the appearance of some sort of angelic dragon. Are you familiar with angels?
I know of them. Aren't the Furies angels?
I guess, yeah. I guess in this setting, the closest thing to angels would be the ancestors of the sirens, and the Furies would probably be the closest things to angels.
Then I guess Phil would say yes. I know many of them.
You know many. Narsus loves angels. He dreams of them often.
I don't think he'd love the ones I know.
Oh. Perhaps someday, when time permits, you can tell me of these angels. Now, brace yourselves. And as she opens the door to this massive round room with a beautiful domed ceiling, the ceiling is a perfect painting of the sky, which currently reflects a slightly overcast night. The moon Fengari hangs fat in the sky, and her light bathes the room in its sort of golden glow. And all around the room are candles and massive pillows and blankets and silk finery. Across from you, you see a dragon. The dragon is covered in fur and feathers. Its scales glimmer like diamonds, as do its horns. And you hear Kyra mutter to herself, "Oh, well, this is bullshit." That's not what he used to look like.
Oh.
And you recall, some of you, that Valis made the same accusation of Kyra when Kyra resumed her dragon form. And Kyra said something like, "It's my body, I do what I want," or something like that.
Well, maybe being in touch with the divine spark left their mark on your previous forms.
Maybe.
Is this like a pool in the center?
Nope. It is just like a sunken living room situation.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah. Sort of like a 360 amphitheater sort of thing. I mean, Pyra doesn't really have time to explain, but later she will explain that sometimes Narsus would just sit in the center of this, and then his followers would just sit around and admire him.
Like a drawing class.
Yeah, exactly. So that they could study beauty, and sometimes it would go on for hours, maybe even days without sleep.
Ugh.
Yeah.
He's very pretty.
So he raises his head, and he says, "What are you doing?" Tyra, no. Why would you let them in? I told the queen. They said no one could see me like this. No one. And she is just weeping openly, and she says, I searched my feelings, and I would have denied the queen for you. But I think that this is best. I think that this is what you need. If you wish to dismiss me from your service, if you wish to exile me from Aresia, if you wish for me to take my own life, you need only say so, and I will. But I believe I made the right choice. You have wallowed in your grief and your misery for too long. These heroes have saved our city from the evil warlord Zakroth. Surely they are strong enough to help you as well. And you see him kind of stare at you guys. And this is a much more cognizant and like scrutinizing and intelligent creature than the beautiful angelic man that you kind of saw stumbling through the gardens. He says, I would never wish to be parted from such beauty. Nor should the world be parted from your beauty. Sweet Pyra, please. You're dismissed. Wait outside. Well, here I am. The monster.
Cyrus is gonna laugh really hard at that.
He looks at you, and you could tell that he is disgusted by how ugly you are.
Well, just to mess with him, I'm gonna mimic his fur and horns and everything then.
Okay. Oof. He narrows his eyes, and he looks very displeased. But he says, well, that's a nice trick.
I'm gonna step away from Cyrus, get our breath weapon ring.
So why are you here? Why do you need my... Do you need my counsel? Have you come to laugh at me? I see that you brought my sister. You come to watch me laid low? Unable to escape my birthright? Unable to escape my past? I can never fly far enough to escape you. Any of you.
You made your bed.
No, I have servants that well, no. Actually, I've been having to do that myself since I won't let my servants in. Very astute. Oh. And he just kind of like moans a little bit and lays down in his incredibly expensive lush cushions, and you could just feel the pity that he feels for himself washing across the room. And Bullbug's like,
You know you're not really ugly in any way, shape, or form, right?
He says, you can't fool me. Pyra probably put you up to that. She insists that I'm more beautiful than I've ever been before, blah, blah, blah. I know the truth. I am, once again, just a beast of war, like my mother forced me to be.
You're just as ugly as when I last saw you.
He narrows his eyes, and you see like the diamond scales and horns kind of like glow a little bit. And he says, you can be as cruel as you want, nephew. I know your reputation. I would never dare to fight you. I might hate my situation, but I don't hate living. And I know that you and your friends are murderous brutes. So go ahead. Laugh it up. Ridicule me. Kick me while I'm down. I don't care.
I don't think that's why we came here, was it?
I mean, I find it quite funny, but...
Well, you have a grudge.
You have a grudge with me, nephew. What have I ever done to you? It sounds like something you inherited from your father. My condolences on that. It is good to know that he died protecting something that he loved.
Well, I know some of the other former gods could change back into human form. Are you not able?
It is an ability that not all dragons possess. Hexia couldn't do it either. I could, but no longer.
Hmm.
I don't know what happened. I don't know what happened. I've tried, and I've tried the more conventional means, magic, disguise. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what I look like on the outside. It matters how I look to myself. It matters how I look in my soul. I was a glowing golden god, and now I am dust.
Are you saying you aren't as good as your siblings? Because I thought you were. They're able to change back. Can you not see yourself as both?
You beast, you cannot understand. You have not lived as divine. Every moment is an eternity of mundane boredom and despair. I used to feel everything. I used to feel worlds within worlds. I used to hear thoughts and prayers. I used to travel far beyond my body, for my body was just such a small part of what I was. You see, here in Aresia, I was the only god. There was no competition for faith, for petition. Kira might say that I was fat as a dragon, but I was fatter still as god, so well fed. Now I'm starving.
Well, that is one thing. From what I understand now that you're no longer divine, you can actually taste all these delicious foods and drink that have been provided.
Who told you you cannot taste such things? I could taste everything. I was always indulging in every sensation, every sense. Every drug, every stimulant, food, wine, men, women, everything in between.
Sorry, maybe that was just a rumor I had heard.
You see his eyes narrow, his nostrils flare, and he says, "Some of you have sparks." Oh. Oh. So
We
the
know where yours
spell-
went.
Do you?
It's not like you deserve it, though. Nor would you have the guts to go get it for yourself.
I don't enjoy fighting or violence. Nor should I have to.
Coward's words.
It's not cowardice.
You would have a world where everyone fights? No? It
When
seems
fighting
that...
is necessary.
No. I think that the domain of valor is taking hold. I think that soon you will only find joy in battle. Think of your joyless father. That's the fate waiting for you, isn't it? Were you so eager to snatch up his mantle? Did you not think of the consequences? It's not easy to be a god, nephew.
Not easy. What did you even do? Except leave your mother to die?
I don't.
He winces a little bit, but you can tell that this guy has no impact. Like he has made peace with his departure from his family. And he just kind of says, how unfortunate that someone so brash and so insensitive would seek to be divine. Though I suppose with Sydon gone, someone must rise to fill his place in the cosmos. Seems we have a worthy candidate already. And this one just hollows out from the inside. The two of you were too hasty. You were not ready. And you certainly had no one qualified to teach you what it truly means. To wield divinity, to hold a domain. A shame, really. This world deserves better. But here I am, prattling on. I'm sure you have reasons for being here. Actual reasons.
Yes, we wanted to know. Apparently Zakroth was sieging Aresia to get to you because you have. Sounds like you're going to give an instruction or course on becoming divine, or that you have some path.
What? Did you see a flyer or a billet posted somewhere?
No. This is why I don't.
No. Beautiful, beautiful girl. You and your voice should be heard and seen. I just don't quite understand what you mean. You feel that I am advertising such services, or did you take that as a subtle implication of the words I just spoke to my nephew?
Possibly both.
Ah, then at least there is one among you who is clever and wise. Yes, that is what I was saying. My brother, my sister, and my father never took to divinity. To argue against that is to show the world that you are fools. And you see Kyra kind of like cross her arms, but she makes no argument. They almost let their grief destroy them. The spark, you see, it latches on. It grows. It's fed by who you are and what you are, and who you want to be. What you want the world to be. But my father was consumed by his grief. He shut himself off from the world, from his own followers, from his own children. Why, he couldn't even commune with my mother, for he had shut himself away. And the spark, it helped him. It built a fortress around his heart. Though I have heard stories that you managed to breach that fortress, bring down those walls, and I am grateful for that. The old man deserves some happiness. Valis is overwhelmed, living in the great shadow cast by my mother's wings. Always she had lived in that shadow, but with my mother's great departure. Not a death, an ascension. Valis could not handle the weight, the burden left behind. And her spark clung to that weight, and day by day it grew heavier and heavier. Each poor decision she made only reaffirmed her own self-doubt. If you had not come along, great heroes, you anomalies of fate, they would have been destroyed by their own power. And Kyra, we need not speak of your struggles, because you're here, and I don't want to embarrass you. I love each and every one of you, and I never stopped. Leaving you was not an abandonment. I am no fighter. I would have done you no good in that battle, save to be a liability. When my rider died, I was done. I could do it no more. And our mother knew that. She let me go. She let me go. But it seems before she could tell the truth of my departure, events unfolded as they did. When I was in the full prime of my divinity, I would speak to her often and ask her of the heavenly realms. I worked hard to rise to her level that I might someday join her. Things were going well until they weren't. I was a fool to think that I could hold on to my power. The oath ended, but I've always been a bit optimistic, I guess.
Well, maybe while we were destined to help the rest of your family and before the event, maybe we're here to help you after. Seems to be when you're in time of need.
Pyra said that you defeated the warlord Zakroth. I assume that to mean then that you discovered his connection to me. I
That's why
respect
we're
you
here.
enough not to put on a charade. Your interactions with Lady Lutheria more than likely would make such behavior tiresome. So, I see no need to lie to you. I had used my charms upon the wealthy and influential nymph, Echo. She was to be my agent out in the world, outside the walls of Aresia. But unfortunately, her love for me became all-consuming. She became obsessed and forgot the great duty I had bequeathed to her, and instead used her vast resources and influence to make war against my people, in a selfish effort to free me. Why would I need to be freed from my own kingdom?
This was-
But nothing makes people pray harder than war, so I allowed it. But I knew that outside of that, she was useless. I needed a new champion. Zagroth found many answers, and with the gifts I gave him, was able to secure one of the items that is needed for true ascension. You see, there are rules in this world, rules laid down by its creator, Thylea. She is a jealous god. She wants no competition. That is why when my mother rose to such great power, she was cast out into the heavenly realms. She was not allowed to stay. I asked my mother how she was able to achieve this great feat, but she refused to tell me. But now I hold nearly all the answers to that riddle. Now it is almost time to assemble the different parts needed for the ritual. It would allow even mortals such as you to achieve true godhood. Not the pretendings of my father and siblings, not even the natural blood-born gifts of the twins, but true divinity. With such powers, you could do anything. You could reshape the world, right any wrong that you needed, fix any problem, return any soul, change the rules of the game.
But who's to say history wouldn't repeat itself? Who's to say that Thylea wouldn't again bar them from ascending?
Because if enough truly divine beings stood together, she would be forced into a parlance, a peace, an oath, just as before, just as her children had to do. It is a balance of power. We would bring such power to our people, the Aresians, the Metrosians, the Storians, the people of the Indigo Isle, any who needed protection from those ancient and terrible titans. We could ensure a better, safer world for all of our subjects, all of our people, all of our... And you can tell he's like searching for the word friends.
He looks at Hypatia, looks back at Narsus. I am quite over her rules.
Her rules keep my brother and your uncle imprisoned for eternity. And her wayward daughter will never return the souls that she has taken. If you truly think Lutheria gone, then you are fools. And I know that you are not. I know that you suspect there is more at play, and you are not wrong. But I have a feeling that whatever she is planning, we will need the strength of gods to stop it.
Well, I guess the question then is, what are these items?
Well, I would share with you this information, but I am afraid of being betrayed. Would you be willing to swear a mutual oath with me that we would work together towards this goal?
Were we not just speaking of these dumb rules?
Yes, but while the rules exist, they can be very useful. I would not take my life's
Well,
work and hand it over to you only to...
well, I might not. While I may not like you or respect you, not once have I gone back on my word. I don't need an oath to prove that. If working with you gets me what I want, then let's work.
Hey, give me a persuasion check, Philip, please. Or, I guess, an intimidation. Either one.
I'll do intimidation. And if I'm not feeling confident, I'll roll my declaration.
I mean, it's pretty good intimidation. I would say passively, everyone else in the room is intimidated by the intensity of your words.
Okay.
Narsus looks at all of you and at Phil, and for the first time kind of shows some very sharp, sparkling teeth, and says, if I am speaking plainly, I don't trust any of you. But the last person that tried to coax you into an oath, you managed to weasel your way out of it, so I suppose it's a fool's errand that would only end up affecting me. After all, you are, as the stories say, the anomaly of fate. That's part of why I think you're perfect for this job. You will just have to trust that if you do betray me, I know many ways that could cause you to regret it for
Doesn't
longer
matter.
than you could ever live.
Betrayal is not an option for me.
That is good to hear. And I know that if you are your father's son, then those words are true. Because if Pi was anything, he was honest.
So what is it that you hope to gain?
I wish to regain my divinity, make sure that my people here in Aresia are well cared for and protected. And then I plan to ascend. If others ascend alongside me, I feel that we should face down Kentimane and Thylea and demand that we are given a seat at the table. If they threaten war and destruction of the world and its people, then I say that we should back down. Let them call our bluff and transcend to whatever otherworldly plane our sparks are destined to take us, and then we can from afar, watch and shepherd over those who need us. What if they fall for the bluff? We stay and live here among them, guide them, care for them, and help shape the world with our own hands and claws.
That's agreeable to me.
It's fun to me, but I can't promise I'll back. But you'll be free to do what you.
You've faced Kentimane before. Are you afraid to face him again on equal ground?
No, I'm saying it. I won't be bluffed.
Oh. So you would follow through on your bluff, even if it meant the deaths of so many?
I'll know when the time comes.
Yes. I remember the first time I had to make such a decision. Weighed heavy. Well, I suppose you should get started. You don't have much longer to live. Generally, about a decade is as long as any mortal could survive, with such a divine spark inside of them. My father and siblings and I being, of course, the exception. I for mastering my domain, they for their draconic natures. You might have a better chance than Hypatia with your draconic and somewhat divine blood. But still, damage is being dealt to you on a physical, spiritual, and temporal level that may never be undone. You're being changed day by day in subtle ways. Tell me, nephew, do you wish to lose yourself? Or master your power?
I wish only to do what I must. For myself, my family, and my people.
The Lord of Storms would say similar things. He was a family man, after all. How did that work out for him?
I hope that if I get to his point, then someone like me will put an end to it. But
Wow, what a vicious cycle. You have so much to learn. All right. One of the things that we need for ascension is something called ambrosia. It should have been at Zakros Keep. At least he claimed that he knew where it was. Was it there? Were there any notes? Any hints? Oh, and that's when Hypatia produces the transcribed cipher, because she's had a couple hours of brooding. And she says, yeah, he didn't have it. He knew where it was, but had not attempted the journey to get it, it seems. It says here that it's in the vault of someone named Hades. Which sounds
Oh,
very
shit.
familiar.
That's the guy in that movie.
Oh, the blue guy with the hair. Yeah, Lotus left all of her DVDs behind.
Oh, lucky you.
Wasn't there also an item in the vault that belonged to him?
That was
Oh,
Apollo's
you're,
sphere.
you're... No.
No, we did.
There was his cap, right?
I'm so lost.
Yeah, let me check my memory.
Yeah.
Does anybody still have that?
Yeah, it's called the dock in the treasure chest. I'm scrolling.
I thought we had one from Apollo and one from Hades. I wasn't sure though.
No, I'm pretty sure we did have something.
Oh, I'm sorry, Zamrox. I know you're here too. I'm sorry, buddy.
Oh, I don't think it was okay. Check in general. Yeah.
Okay. Narsus seems to be troubled by this, and you can see that he is thinking very, very hard. It almost looks like he has gone like catatonic, like he's doing like a BBC Sherlock, like he's in his thought palace right now. Ah. Oh. Well, that would make sense. You see, the items that we seek are not of this world. Because in order to break the rules of this world, we must use magic and powers not from it. But I had heard rumors that the ambrosia was here in Thylea. That's troubling. Are you skilled at traversing the planes of existence? And this is when your DM is like, God damn it, why is Hypatia gotta be at Star Wars camp right now? And then Hypatia says, I've made a study of it. I know it must be done. What does this ambrosia do? What's in it for us in the immediate future? Divinity is great, change all the rules, I'm good at that. But I have specific things that I'm trying to do in a very tight time frame. So I need to know, what are we doing? Just spit it out. And you see Narsus kind of nod his head, and he says, well, I have made a study of other worlds. I was something of a bard myself a long time ago. And he smiles at Kyra, and Kyra rolls her eyes, just shakes her head, and she's just murmuring slowly under her breath the word pineapple over and over again. And Narsus says, if it's truly in the vault of Hades, and we'll want to confirm, it will be a very difficult journey. All right. You'll need to go to the Isle of the Fates. There, tunnels honeycomb the island. One such tunnel leaves this world behind and enters a realm known as Pandemonium. It is a existence of madness, a realm of pure insanity. Through that realm you must travel to try and reach what's known as the Three Glooms of Hades. Because just like Thylea, he named his world after himself. I think it's a little narcissistic, honestly, but what would I know?
Was he trying to make a joke there, or was he just?
He was definitely trying to make a joke. So.
Okay.
Okay.
Anastasia smiles a little bit. They're not so different, in a sister.
I will need to do more research. I'm sure you have things you must do to prepare if you're going to travel to realms of madness and death beyond our world. Maybe goodbyes that you need to say.
Hypatia, did any of those windows in the Witch's Tower go to this realm?
Hypatia kind of like closes her eyes. She says, yeah, I mean, not specifically there. One of them goes to. Well, I mean, there's enough windows that one of them would probably get us pretty close. So I could go and check and catch up with you guys. How much time do you need, Narsus? And he says, I should have the answer within 3 days, 8 days at the most. In the meantime, I suppose you could look for the second ritual requirement.
All right. What's that?
Well, how do I put this? There is a divine spark, unlike any other. It is called the Promethean Flame. Some call it the spark of creation. Some, the light of insight. Regardless, the stories say it was stolen from the gods of some other world by someone they trusted and given to those undeserving. Somehow, throughout the endless span of time and realities, it made its way here. I don't know exactly where it is, though, but I'm very close. I know that it is here in Thylea. We have to figure out where. Something is making it hard to see. Something has it locked away. I have the feeling that wherever it is, it's buried deep. Either in the hollow places of this world, somewhere in the nether seas, or perhaps the deepest depths of the ocean itself. For those are places that scrying eyes struggle to see, even the eyes of the gods.
Manor a bakery.
Who?
Bakery, bread.
Bakery? No, I don't believe it would be at a bakery. Are you saying that because there's an oven at a bakery? Do you think that is because I said the word fire beast, that it would be in the
No,
oven?
we found out we couldn't be detected if we were in bread.
The magic box that makes toast. Where is it? That's where the flame.
I
It sounds
scoured
ridiculous,
the-
I know, but
I scoured the rivers
Wreckage.
and wreckage and Nitros. I could not find it.
When you tell the story, Zamrock's he stifles a sob a little bit, thinking about the magic box that makes toast.
It's one of the greatest wonders
Okay, so
the
we
world
just
has
gotta
ever
think of
lost.
where does this flame shine bright always? Or I assume it's never gone out, right?
I don't even know if it's actually a flame.
Oh.
That's what it's called. It's the Promethean Flame. But often when you're dealing with legendary things, they have a name that is symbolic, but they might be something else entirely.
Can
Okay.
you translate it or measure it to something? What type of scale are we talking here?
On a power level scale, it is quite significant. Oh, and I'm sorry, Hypatia, I guess I didn't answer your earlier question. What does the ambrosia do? Well, let me walk you through it. Let's see. What does the ambrosia do? Ah, yes. So, according to legends, mortal wizards created this incredible elixir through unknown means long ago, using knowledge gathered from the many worlds from which they all hailed. With the power of the ambrosia, they sought to become gods and take their place alongside the titans of Thylea. Kentimane wanted none of this, and he smote the wizards. Grabbing the ambrosial vessel in a mighty fist, he hurled it into the Nyx. But now it seems we have finally located its location. This Hades fellow seems to, he's a bit of a collector from what I understand. It seems that death gods usually are collectors, aren't they? By nature. Oh, but what does it do? Yes. If you drink from the bowl that refills every sunrise, you become immortal. You live forever. You're cured of all disease. You're immune to poison, disease. You can never age. But once you start, you cannot stop. I suppose the issue here is that, and this is honestly, if you did not know, this is why mortals were sealed away from accessing the 6th level of magic and higher, because of this little science project they put on.
So, you have to continue to drink from it, or?
I think you turn into some sort of horrible spirit that's somewhere between life and death for all eternity or something.
Okay.
Well, that doesn't sound good at all.
Well, no, we would drink from it as part of the ritual. I wouldn't recommend just drinking from it. That'd be foolish. We would drink it to prep our bodies for divinity. You see, just as it would protect you from poison, disease, the ravages of time, it would alleviate all those pesky symptoms that are currently killing Philippocles and Hypatia. Which, by the way, are there any others among you interested in joining us on this journey towards divinity? This world is ripe with power. There's plenty to go around, especially after the slaughter of Sydon and his children.
Well, I'm not sure if I've seen a spark that resonates with me.
You are wise, beast. You do not want to be bound to something that you cannot tolerate eternity with. So, it seems like I've given you some information for now. Perhaps you can help me research the location of this Promethean flame. There is a third item, but I feel that we need to worry about these first two before we pursue that one. And then we can, I suppose, once they're all assembled, begin our journey together. I highly recommend acquiring the ambrosia before we lose these two to their sparks, to their weaknesses.
Probably a good idea.
This one fares far better. My nephew, if I didn't know any better, I would say you've been cultivating followers, petitioners out in the world, saying prayers to the great Philippocles, god of valor. Do you hear their prayers, nephew?
Do I hear their prayers?
Sometimes.
Like I said, I do what I must.
You have a lot of Gerblin followers. So just out of nowhere, you'll have people that are, you know, praying for Gerblin things. Like, I don't know. I hope I get seconds at dinner tonight. You know, just
It gets me through my day.
yeah. They're like little daily affirmations, you know. Great green Philippocles, give me the strength to fight this wild pig. You know, like stuff like that. Just as you fought the mighty legendary boar. And then, you know, there's non-Gerblin followers as well. People that, you know, saw you guys fight, and they want courage and strength and bravery, virility, you know, things like that.
Well, let's be about it then.
And I trust you'll keep my condition a secret.
I've already promised the Queen.
Such a sweet girl. Young Helen. All right. Well, this is good. I feel myself being lifted out of my melancholy. I will send for my books and my scrolls and my crystal orb, and I will ponder it all night till I have the answers that we need. You are, dismissed?
I was already leaving.
Okay. All right. So I could actually just fast travel you back to the palace map.
But I wanted to dramatically walk.
Oh, okay, sure, yeah. Well, yeah, go for it.
No, you do. It's alright.
Okay, here. Slam. There we go. All right, I'll take you back to the let's see. We got roleplay table. Here we go. All right. So once you're back and Pirate closes the doors and leaves you to your privacy, Bullbug lets out a long sigh and he says, Gary, you're right. That guy's a nerd. And she kind of laughs a little bit, but she seems kind of haunted by the encounter.
What is it?
It's
Did that go well?
He seems so
Desperate?
I don't know. He just seems different than any version of him I've ever known. He's always been a soft boy, a sweet boy, a crybaby.
Mm.
And I feel like what little of that we saw was just him going through the motions of that.
Mm.
I don't know who he is anymore. And I'm starting to wonder if I ever really did.
You know, if you ever want to really know someone, Kyra,
Oh no, please don't say it. Please don't. Don't.
I nod my head.
Why didn't you challenge him when we could have known him real good?
I would have.
I like the feathers. The feathers are really nice. He's very pretty.
Whatever, he looks dumb. You know, the only other dragon I know that's got that much fur is Falcor. And that guy, he likes traumatizing kids.
That's not
Who's
good.
Falcor?
Yeah. Oh,
What
he's
the
like
hell?
he's like a dog dragon. It's complicated. Anyways, I don't want to talk about it. It's opening old wounds. God, the poor horse. God, the fucking horse. You see tears begin welling up in her eyes. Anyways, fur on a dragon. What's next? Feathers on a dinosaur? Oh wait, there are feathers on dinosaurs. Shoot. All right. You know what? I'm tired. I'm gonna go lay down. Oh, and what he said about like, oh, every day is just It's not. Being a god sucks, and having a divine spark sucks. And anybody that says different is lying to you. Sorry, nephew, but it's true. I can't believe that you did that. I know you wanted to take on your father's mantle and you wanted to win the fight against Sydon, but I know it's more than you can handle. I know it's destroying you. And now it feels like we're stuck. We have to follow through with it, or you have to find some way to get rid of it, and neither of those seem like a good option, and then I had to stand there for like 20 minutes and listen to that fat nerd talk about how smart he is about planar stuff and cool legends. And I'm going to bed. And the door to the room that you and her share, Anna, she closes it. Okay. It's currently like 2 in the morning.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Does it really hurt, Phil?
No, I'm fine.
Inside.
And
I'm not very insightful, but
my passive perception's a 0.
okay.
Oh.
My passive insight's plus 1s is 11.
So, Phil, it doesn't hurt physically, but basically the guilt you feel about your father is just amplified by the domain, like by the spark. You fight the urge to just fly down to the nether seas and tear him free from the tree that they have him staked to, and then die fighting every single Fury and Daemon, and even Astreus if he tried to stop.
Yeah,
you.
he neglected to mention that part of it, where, when we go up against Thylea and Kentimane, they're soldiers, technically, the Furies.
Yeah. So every single day you fight the urge to do that, and every time you win that fight and don't do it, you feel worse that you didn't do it. You essentially have a intelligent magical item inside of you that is taking away all of your dopamine if you don't do the things that it wants you to do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Phil thought that maybe just dinner with his friends would numb the pain for just a moment.
God damn, you're gonna make Jared cry. You're gonna make Jared cry, okay?
Well, Jared should cry. No one visited me. Sorry, Jared. Please don't.
I mean, someone did visit you, but you couldn't see them because they were a ghost. It was Lena of Philippocles. Her ghost was there at dinner sometimes.
Ugh.
Yeah. Like, in your lap, pretending to feed you food. Like, it was very creepy.
God, I don't know these, and I don't need to know these.
Okay.
She'll
so
always love you.
I think that went well. We learned a bunch of stuff, and we got some goals. Right?
Hypatia is angry. She says that he knows everything, and he's deliberately holding things back because he's worried if he tells us everything, we won't need him anymore. And since we refuse to swear a stupid oath, that's like the only bargaining chip he has. But he also knows that if we kill him, we won't get the information. And I'm so furious right now that I want to go back there right now, and I want to turn him completely inside out while keeping him alive and force the answers out. Respectfully.
Are you okay?
Does he deserve that though?
Does it matter?
Oh.
Does he not?
No.
Guess not.
Hypatia, if it's not too forward of me to say, I don't think that
should return people inside out, especially if they're still alive. Just gonna. That's my opinion about that.
And he very briefly looks at her, and then he looks away.
So you're like the snakes, agitated snakes.
Yeah, yeah. These are much meaner snakes than
But I remember.
than the cuties were. They've spent 7+ years being real
attached to.
Yeah.
Oh man. Okay, so what's next? We need to go say hi to our friendly fates and find out about those tunnels, or no? We should do the other thing first. This is Ambrosia and the Promethean flame. Okay, so we need to find out where this flame could be, if it's even a flame.
Zamrox, he goes and he nods to your gift basket on the kind of like coffee table, and that reminds you guys that in 2 days you have to be there for a ceremony so that the queen could formally gift you guys back your own boat that you gave her in front of all of Aresia.
Well, I can try asking Halcia. I mean, if it's a flame, she has a connection to it.
Zamrox nods.
What would you do with a flame? You use it to light things? Show?
I mean, it sounded like a divine spark. The flame seems more like, you know, how you would attach symbols to symbols.
But it is he said it is a divine spark in itself. This
he said it is
or equal to.
it is equal to or greater than a divine spark. It is like a divine spark. It is a force of power.
Okay.
Yeah. Once owned by a pantheon of gods, stolen by someone they trusted the most, and given to those undeserving. And of course, throughout the multitudes of worlds and timelines and whatnot, it of course has strayed and wandered and crossed here and there. But it has found its way here, almost serendipitously. And he knows this because as a god of beauty, he had bard powers, so he had, was rocking that legend lore all the time. He was communing with grandma, all that stuff. So he's pretty, if there was research that could be done remotely, right, he has done it. So yeah. Now maybe you guys have other ideas, the Halcyon thing is pretty smart.
And so if you...
Well,
We can go find
so I didn't.
Well, I'm still technically her champion, so if I just find a nice quiet place to pray to her, probably could get in contact with her.
And she's been doing great, by the way. She's been doing really good. She doesn't like Baby Shark very much, but has not been able to get the lizard folk to stop that bullshit. But pretty much rules all of the lizard folk of Fire Island and the surrounding smaller islands and stuff like that, and has even made some trips over to Typhon to sort of power up in the volcano over there. So she's doing very well for herself.
I could also ask Solaria about it. I mean, but she might not remember anymore.
I mean, all these fire entities might know something.
That's assuming it's flame, though. It might not be a flame. light bulb. What if it was just like I go grab Phil's light bulb icon and like take it off this token? What if it was this?
Right. Arete nods and says, "What if it was an idea?
It was in an idea.
What if it was an idea?"
It's possible.
Well,
This is just a thought. It may not be worth exploring, but what if... Wouldn't it also make sense that Sydon or Lutheria would have looked into this as well? Wasn't there that library on
yonder.
yonder?
Well, I think maybe the Academy at Mitros. I think, or is there an Academy in Astoria too, or is it like?
Now, much of the Academy of Mitros got destroyed during the war.
That's right.
So they,
That's right.
so they've been rebuilding, but they very, very like Library of what, Alexandria or whatever. They lost a lot of stuff to the war.
Even before then, I think Hypatia probably would have squeezed every last knowledge juice that she could have from them.
Every last kernel of knowledge.
Okay, well, I guess we just enjoy our time here until we have the ceremony, and then we got another ship. That's gonna be fun, sailing again.
So you look over, Anastasia, at Sol, and Sol is staring at you. And Sol kind of keeps staring at you, and then they sort of like start like flaring their fire a little bit in their feathers.
Anna,
What's up? Yeah,
I think Souls wants your attention.
yeah, I could tell. I'll hold my arm out and then like rest on it. What's going on, friend?
You can tell that Sol is gauging you and trying, like, it feels bad, but it almost feels like she's weighing you against some unknown quantity and coming to a decision. And since you guys are connected as both familiar and as patron, which is which, you feel that she wants to tell you something, but she is afraid to tell you too soon.
Okay.
Afraid that you are not ready, that you are not strong enough, but also feels terrible for watching you, like, I guess, in this state of like needing to know but not knowing.
Well, I trust your judgment implicitly, friend.
Oh, okay. Then you feel your bond. You feel her relief.
Yeah, I
And then you kind of hear in your heart and in your mind, you hear her kind of say, "Soon enough, you will make the journey. Your destiny will take you to the Promethean flame."
Okay. All right.
And you see Zamrox pick up Kyra's notepad that she left on the coffee table, and then he makes an addendum to your guys' notes. So. All right.
Well,
Unless you guys have anything else to do this evening, or any other discussion, you may want to get some sleep because it's winding into like 3 a.m. at this point.
Yeah, it's probably important.
night.
Okay. So, all right. So everybody heads to sleep.
Yeah.
As you are climbing into bed, Anna, you hear Kyra sort of sleep talking.
Mhm.
And she's apparently having some stern words with Narsus that she wanted to have, but
Mhm.
she didn't for diplomatic reasons. And boy, howdy, are they stern.
Okay, yeah. I kind of like scoop her up and just kind of I'll listen for as long, as I'm awake and then fall asleep.
Aw, as you do,
Big spoon.
her eyelashes flutter, her eyes open, and she sees you in the dark, and she smiles, and she says, "Oh, I was having a bad dream, or a good one. I don't know. Yeah."
Mhm. What's on your mind?
I've come to terms with something. You already knew this, but I'm terrified of elevators. And starting tomorrow, I'm going to start taking steps to avoid them.
I promised myself I would never step into another elevator, even if the fate of the world has been. No. We were tricked that one time, and that wasn't fair. We could have just flown down. It would have been simple.
Yeah. And then realizes that her joke went over your head. She engages you and talks about elevators until both of you fall asleep. So, all right.
Oh, I get it now. Damn it.
All right. Okay. So you guys wake the next day, and it is time to go and do the things that must be done. Not really. You have a whole day in
I was gonna say,
Aresia.
I thought we had to wait
Yeah.
until
All right. So what will you guys do with this day off in Aresia?
I want to see the fig guy.
Oh
The
shit.
figs guy?
Okay.
You mean the olive guy?
Olive guy, yeah.
Every time you bring him up, it's
It's a different fruit. Yeah.
Grapes last time.
The great bubblegum man. All right.
Kool-Aid Man.
All right. Liartes is still there, and
Jeez.
he's still old AF.
I'm gonna
Do you
wait
have-
in line because I imagine there's a line. Is there a line of people?
In the wake of war, no, everybody's off, repairing walls and helping the surrounding countryside and things like that. They don't got time for this man's bullshit. So
Okay, I'm gonna go up there, and I'm going to use one of my tokens, my flashback tokens, because we got 3, right?
yes.
So when I was in the north, there was 1 olive on a.
In all of the north, there was one olive.
Yes,
Okay.
1 olive. It was.
All right.
It's called the crystal olive.
The crystal
Okay.
olive. Okay.
It was on a. It was on a tree, a white tree,
Triet.
inside a snowy grove.
Oh, okay.
In the middle of a frozen lake.
All right.
And it took me 3 days, one-on-one fight with a snow otter.
Oh, okay.
A very vicious,
That's
huge snow otter.
Yeah, that's quite a snow otter. All right.
Yeah. It was his olive, he was saying, because I could understand him. 'cause I'm-
Okay.
And I said, I would like the olive. And we played 20 squares. We drew 3 times and couldn't come to a conclusion from 20 squares. So we fought, and eventually, after 3 days, I bested him, and he gave me this olive as a token of friendship, because we fought for 3 days.
Wow. Okay.
Sounds like you beat him up and took it. I don't.
No, it was given to me as a
Completely
token
mutual.
of friendship.
Okay.
This was a diamond olive.
It's a crystal olive.
Oh, my bad.
It's
Okay.
it's called the crystal olive. I don't know what it's made of. But Rosette, remember?
Probably olive.
Yeah, probably it's probably just an olive. But it never goes bad and it never gets old. Apparently, that's why it was like the only one on the tree.
Okay.
Yeah. So she's gonna go up to this guy. And she's gonna take it out from her bag.
He's going to
yeah,
he's
give
going
it
to
to
look at you with the very sunken eyes, and he's going to look upon this crystal olive, and you can hear sort of a wheezing sound coming from inside him, and his hand is basically just skeletal at this point, but he sort of like reaches towards it, his hand shaking.
I'm gonna give it to him.
He turns his hand to have the palm up, and you drop it into his hand. There is a kind of a wheezing gasp. He raises his hand slowly, and he stares at it. You can hear the blood slowly pumping through his body, very slowly. This guy's only been hanging on through sheer stubbornness. His heart beats like once every minute or so. Like, he just stares at it. The wind blows. Off in the distance, the sound of Aresian scouts and troops making repairs to the wall in the surrounding countryside carries on the wind. You look down from this high vantage point, and you see the city of Aresia below you. You see the river slowly moving through the heart of the city. And yet he still stares at this olive.
I should send you.
What?
Send you a picture.
Oh, you sent me a picture?
Yeah.
Oh, man. Wow, that's better than my picture. I had this picture. The future is so amazing.
Oh yeah, that was good
Yeah.
too. You know what?
Yeah.
That's probably better.
All right, yeah. So here, we'll throw up these olives. Here you go. Instantly, olive. All right, and he looks at you, and he nods, and with like lightning speed that your well-trained eyes can track, he brings it to his mouth, and he begins to gum the crystal olive. You see tears begin to spill forth from his eyes. You can see the little bit of like emerald juice and oil kind of dripping from the corner of his mouth. He smiles. He lays down on the stones. And he dies.
It's time for you to rest, my old friend. Did he die with a smile?
He did.
I'll,
And I've been playing
close his
so much
eyes.
Divinity lately that I just pictured Reset getting like 167,000 experience points just for fucking handing off this.
Oh,
all.
and they
Yeah.
carried a ragdoll on the floor for this.
No, but yeah, you lean down and you close his eyes. Even in Aresia, they do put the lepta upon the eyes for burial.
Yep. And then I'll just make the necessary arrangements for his funeral
Aww,
that
Alright.
everyone's gonna go to.
it's beautiful. It's Aresia, so they'll have it ready by sunset.
second I thought they're like, okay, well now we gotta send back the boat gift party. We need to set that back a couple more days to make room for the most important Auresian die.
No, this is good. They were having like a funeral tonight, anyways, for the people that died in the war. So this will just be kind of added to the stack kind of thing. But all right, it's beautiful, beautiful. Okay. Does anyone else have anything they'd like to do in the city of Aresia? Oh, and Reset, you got the boon of the perfect olive.
Nice.
Yeah.
What does it do?
Oh, it's not like a super great boon, but you may cast Freedom of Movement 3 times, and then the boon wears off.
Okay, I will take it. Oh, can I get rid of these blessings here? The blessing of protection.
Oh
These are
yeah,
the ones
those would
we
have
got,
worn
yeah.
off. Yeah, they don't have that. Yeah, they'd be gone. All right. So,
Are we still on what we're doing?
yeah. What are we doing today?
Oh, okay. Well, Anna's gonna go around and talk to every siren she can, because they probably not skipped Aresia on the tour, but it's hard. It's kind of hard to get in. I'm like just visiting.
Auresian culture is so strong and so well defined that like the different races and species that make up the Auresian population, they sort of let go of those more like racial traditions and try to fully embrace like Auresian traditions. So they all, there's still like people that kind of like remember who you are, sort of thing. But they very much are Auresians.
Okay.
Whether they are sirens or centaurs or minotaurs or any of that. Yeah.
Yeah, I just wanted to put it out there as a suggestion. I know not everyone I want is going to come, and that includes Pyra too. But I know that her duties, are very important.
So yeah, Pyro would be a good one to sort of give you a little pushback on that, I think.
Okay.
So if you could maybe kind of explain to Pyra, like give me an example of your pitch, but like you're pitching it to Pyra.
Okay. Well, someday soon, things are moving again in this world, and we will, our people, will get back what was once theirs, and I've seen it. I know where it lay. All the stories and songs that our parents used to sing. And gosh.
Pyro looks at you as like her eyes imploring you to go on.
I just feel like we've been without for long enough. What happened shouldn't have happened, and just want to make it right. And I feel that this is the best way to go about doing this, and it's not just for our people, but everyone would be welcome. Should the city be available once again? I know it's not everyone's path.
You seek to reclaim the fallen city of the Sirens?
Yes.
But Sydon cast the city down from the skies and into the seas long ago. Knowing where it is certainly impressive. But do you know what state it is in? Do you know what means you would use to raise such a grand city up from the waves. Where will you place it? Will it hover in the skies, or will you set it upon the shores? Or will it float adrift as islands do?
I feel whenever the siren's wish is, so it shall be. I mean, the city can fly, then it shall fly. If it likes to rest on the waves, our people are of the sea and the sky.
So few of our people ever want to remember what was. And yet here you are, not just remembering, but wishing for its return. Does this courage come from Sydon's demise? Or has this always been your hope?
I feel like every siren has this within them, you know, as just children. Parents told us of it, you know, and it's not fantasy, it is reality.
The High Priestess of Beauty kind of wipes a tear from her eye and cheek and says, "In my dreams, I have seen the city in its former glory, floating among the clouds, pillars of white, statues painted, all the colors of the rainbow. Gatherings of the Nyx, curated into lanterns of beautiful prismatic light, glowing in and through the clouds that have been taught to support the weight of structures with sky magics long lost to our people. And the music, Anastasia. So much music and so perfect and so beautiful. But these are dreams. Though I suppose if any among us could bring back what was taken, it would be you. For you and yours have already done more than any thought possible. I wish you well on your journey. And while my heart and soul belong to the city of Aresia, to this great nation, I do hope to live long enough to see such beauty with my waking eyes.
That is something I firmly believe is worth fighting for.
Okay. She embraces you, and you feel some wet tears on your kind of neck and shoulder.
I return it, yeah, and then
Yeah.
Okay.
She kind of looks around to make sure that she hasn't offended any Aresians with her emotional outburst.
Mm-hmm.
As a high priestess of beauty, and that close to Narsus, people understand that she gets overwhelmed sometimes. But yeah, she kind of quickly puts herself back together. Okay. Unfortunately, you do not have the same kind of results with the Aresian sirens.
Oh, I figured.
Yeah. They listen respectfully,
Mm-hmm.
but show no real emotional response. Like, you know, like when you guys came here when you were babies and said that you were going to go kill Sydon, and everybody was like, okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they're just like, that's nice. You know, I'm sure that'll work out really well for you. Okay. So, we're set. Anastasia, Phil, you up to anything today? On your day off, as it were?
So I'm assuming like, does Aresia would have like memoriams or like, cause not quite cemeteries, right? Cause like, don't people cremation, right? Is most likely the way, but
They actually use the hills outside of town to bury their dead.
okay. Then yeah, Phil would just visit the cemetery, pay respect to the soldiers that died in the Battle of Mitros.
Oh.
He would visit Andis' statue, and admire her spoon sword, and just kind of like talk and show face like any of their region.
Mm.
If they would, if they take up conversation with him.
Yeah. Especially the caretakers of the burial sites and of the statue. They would certainly speak with you and ask you of your travels, and then at the statue, kind of ask you about fighting alongside her and things like that. So, all
Yeah, he would tell
very,
stories
all
about
yeah,
her.
all very, stoic, kind of emotionless, but certainly with great interest. They would listen to the stories. Cyrus, what do you get up to during the day?
I'm actually gonna go to the lighthouse
Oh, okay.
and try to commune with Halcia.
Oh, all right. Yeah. So you climb to the sort of the highest peak closer to the harbor, and they see you and recognize you as one of the chosen of the Oracle and one of the heroes of Aresia, and you climb to the top. There, an oil-fed flame kind of burns, and there is a very rocky coastline in Aresia, so this is a pretty important thing. And so you sit and begin to commune with Halcia, who is in some ways your goddess, in other ways your patron, and in other ways just your maybe just your friend. Yeah.
Family.
Yeah. Okay. You feel heat and hear the crackling of flames, and you know that she is there with you. Not physically, but you know. Yeah.
Right. In the spirit.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know. Goddess Halcia, how are you?
I am. I am well, champion. I am free. At first, it seemed another tormentful dream. But these short 7 mortal years, and I have not woken up, sealed within the bowels of that island that I now call home and throne. So, yes, I am well. Thank you for asking. And what of you? Are you well?
I am accepting my new stage of life. All things must change.
How goes your settlement, your island on the godless, god-forsaken rock of the Scorpion?
The people seem to be doing well. It seems to be becoming quite the settlement for any creatures that seek an existence and safety
Hmm.
that might
What
be judged otherwise just because of how they look.
What of those? What of those heathen cats? Have they come around to the idea that there may be some out there who are more powerful and more deserving of praise and accolades that might be able to help them rather than hinder them? Have they set their prejudices against the gods aside?
They might be warming to the concept slowly, but considering who affected them the most, it's hardly understandable why they fear it.
Ah, yes, well. I have.
Though you are the exact opposite of the thing they feared for eons, so.
True. I have spent a great deal of time looking for remnants of my brother. It seems that he has been unmade.
Well, with the weapons we used against him, it doesn't surprise me.
Perhaps I had hoped to find some lingering piece of him, something left behind. It is strange. Since his passing, there have not been storms worth mentioning. The weather is so fair as to be boring. So regular and predictable as to be almost automated.
I wouldn't be surprised if his spark finds home elsewhere at some point. I've already witnessed sparks taking root in others. We saw an elemental plant.
Interesting. I thought that plants were normally the purveyance of my mother. How powerful was this being? Would you say that it was comparable to Sydon?
I would say about half the strength of Sydon, but much more primal in nature. I'm not sure if the base, whatever entity it bonded with, was able to manifest the same power, but given time, who's to say?
Interesting. I have heard whispers and rumors of new spirits that walk the lands. God-like, but certainly not gods. They seem to lack any true focus, any true purpose. Some are large, towering beasts. Some are quite small. Some are simply spirits. I've left them alone. Perhaps I should pay more attention in the future.
And it probably wouldn't hurt for all of the entities to form some sort of council. Sort of checks and balances from each other, so Sydon and Lutheria and entities like them could never become like that again.
On that note, what of your allies, Philippocles and Hypatia? How fare they in their endeavors to harness the power of those divine sparks?
They're showing a strong outward focus, outward facing. But we heard news from Narsus.
Narsus? The pretender god of beauty? I would assume he has no such powers left. Was he not?
He doesn't have the powers he will have. but he does retain the knowledge that he had accumulated.
I
He
must
embraced his
confess.
divinity,
Oh.
so
Im-
he was much more into discovering about it than the others.
That is a dangerous path. Knowledge is very dangerous. I myself try to avoid such burdens.
But I have to ask, I know you, being one of the original Titans, you hold the sparks of divinity much easier.
It is my birthright. It is my blood.
Then perhaps you
But
aren't afflicted. I was wondering if you suffer a similar malady as they do.
no, I have learned from my sister's mistakes. I will never be so greedy as to take on that much power at once. It broke her. Mind and body and soul, and who knows what else. She is a creature of madness now. What little is left of my sister has been destroyed by the burden of power she bore for so long, and yet she always took more.
And I fear she's not done. Though she may be in hiding, she has stolen souls, and it's just an unnerving feeling that she is still watching.
Yes, indeed.
But on a different note, I had contacted you, aside from seeing how things are going,
Mm-hmm.
in trying to bolster Philippocles and Hypatia's chances of accepting the divinity. We were told of an item we needed to find called the Promethean Flame. Of course, hearing anything related to fire, my first thoughts were of you.
You should not seek out such a thing, champion. To do so invites the wrath of my father. And as before, I will not stand with you against him.
It's good to at least know who guards it then.
He does not guard it. It is sealed away. But something guards it. Something I should never hope to face in battle. You risk so much and more with this line of thinking. This Narsus, I fear he is leading you down a path to your own destruction. Can you not be happy, Cyrus, with what you have made, with what you are building? These others, they fought beside you, but your quest is over. You owe them nothing. This is an age for you to grow, become strong, for you to find your place in the world and make a place for others like you. Champion, I've grown fond of you, and I don't want to lose you.
Nor do I want to be lost. But these are my friends, and I do not wish to see them waste away and die. If you know of another way, I'm more than willing to listen.
Another way for what? To help your friends?
To help them attain godhood.
I think, as mortals, the best they could hope for is to stand as pretenders, as the five did before them. They will either learn to master it on their own, in time, through dedication and training, or they will be destroyed by their power. Sometimes a thing is what it is. Try as he might, Philippocles is a mortal man. He is neither dragon nor god. And Hypatia, she is cursed and tenfold cursed from the tales I hear. Champion, those two, they're on a path to ruin. You are a rising star, an ember, about to set the world ablaze, creating new and beautiful paths to walk. They head only into darkness.
Then isn't it even more my job to light their path?
All right, give me a persuasion, but it is gonna have to be a charisma one, because she don't give a shit about no intelligence.
Well, I don't have intelligence anymore, so it's all good.
She's like Knuckles from Sonic the Hedgehog, man. She'll care about going fast, being red, and being strong, and apparently being sexualized by Twitter. So, okay, it's pretty good. She says, "I value more than anything else freedom. You are not my slave, nor my servant, nor my champion. But I am strong enough to survive without you. The Promethean flame is locked away at the bottom of the ocean, past the ruins of the Siren's great sunken city, guarded by Gila, the greatest of all sea serpents.
Well, seems that everything is pointing us towards that direction. Not just this.
Everything. What else do you seek?
Anastasia seeks to rise the Siren's home city.
Well, that is a lovely goal.
It is in the same place and guarded by the same creature.
Is it? Why would anyone guard ruins?
Oh, Sydon, being as vindictive as he is, never wanted it to rise again.
Wow. What a waste of resources.
What better place to put it than somewhere that's already guarded?
I suppose. It feels like, as the lizards would say, putting all of your eggs in one nest.
Hubris was his flaw. Look at Praxis.
Absolutely. Well, good luck then, champion. For I know that now that I have given you this small torch, you will use it to guide your allies through the dark depths of the seas. I hope that I see you again.
Well, who knows? With the spark of plants being formed, maybe I'll find the spark of beasts.
She gets kind of quiet for a little bit, and she says, well, I mean, there is such a spark. It resides within the heart of the Maw of Typhon.
Well, that's something I'll have to keep in mind.
It seems I've given you much and more than I intended. Perhaps for me, you could do something simple like, I don't know, some fiery sacrifice of great value, merit.
And he's going to reach into his pouch and take out a shard of the eggshell that he found. Dragon eggshell.
Mm.
He found it. Shoot, never mind. I don't know where I would found that. Cool idea, but I realized I didn't actually see Cypher hatch. So.
Oh, fair. Okay. I mean, they exist on God time, so like you could probably just, like any time relatively soon would probably work. So.
As
All
thanks, I'll take the lock of Nissa's hair I have.
Oh shit.
Not something I give without much thought. And thanks.
Oh wow. You burn that for Halcyon?
Mm-hmm.
Holy shit. Wow. Okay. Yeah, you feel her shocked approval at such a bountiful sacrifice. And she wishes you and your allies speed and courage in what is to come. All right. So, as you guys are all sort of meandering back towards the palace that evening, or I guess heading to the funeral that evening, or do you guys attend the funeral that evening? Anna, Reset,
Or
Cyrus?
Olive?
Well, for Olive, his name is Laertes, and all of the people that died in the war, they're having like a memorial tonight.
Oh, absolutely.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
I'll go.
Fuck yeah.
Okay. Let's see. So,
And it's sing.
oh, you're gonna sing there? Oh, hell yeah. Okay.
Oh, yeah.
All right.
If that's okay.
I don't know why it would be okay. Yeah, they're okay with it. I mean,
Parisians are weird. I don't know.
yeah, you're a farter. You could probably get away with it. I mean,
No, that's exactly what happened the first time we came here. It was like, I'm gonna go train with the Wind Sirens. It's like, oh, it's just a foreigner. Doing foreigner shit, and here she is again, doing foreign.
yeah, but
I'm tired of
you
this.
say
I'm not doing it. It's fine.
you say the thing. They'll indulge you.
No.
If you wanna wail and scream and stuff. I mean,
I
that's
don't.
fine. Okay.
I've been cowed. I don't.
Okay. All right.
Hopefully
Fair enough.
Hopefully Reset talks me out of it.
After the funeral, unless any of you do want to sing or say some words about the passing of Laertes and or the brave Aresians who fought against Zakroth in this recent siege of the city. Otherwise, it's a very somber event. They just read off the names of everybody that died, and then there's a pause, and then they say, also, Laertes finally found the perfect olive and has passed on to the next world. And that's it. They don't say anything else. There's no music. There's no applause. Nobody cries. They basically are just like reading a report. So, like, in the siege of Aresia, these people gave their lives in the defense of our great city and nation. And then they read off like a shitload of names in a total monotone, and then they give you the footnote about Laertes. Does anybody want to step in and say anything, or do you just let them do it the Aresian way?
No, I just nod.
Mm-hmm.
with all the other Aresians as each
Reset.
name was read.
It was a beautiful service. It was fucking incredible. So it was. Oof.
Yeah,
You
after the service, I'm gonna tell Anna. I was like, oh my god, I've never seen so much emotion. I've never been so touched.
Anna, you notice Reset has goose flesh.
It's like when we met your parents that one time.
I
That
feel
was so emotional.
I feel like Aresia is changing out. You know,
Is
it's
it a
been
bad thing?
it's been so long since I've been back, and I mean, with the people like you saw earlier today at the palace, the guy was standing just a few centimeters.
Oh, that
off.
was in the gardens. Yeah. I remember. I think.
You saw the emotion on the
Mhm.
faces of the people during the funeral.
Do you need to go to the gallery? Is that what this?
Oh no, I'm fine.
Oh, okay.
Actually, Anna, I'm like totally okay with my emotions now. I just do this in Aresia because it's Aresia.
That's fantastic to hear. I'm so glad.
But I've spent more time away than I have growing up here now. So
Yeah, it's 100 years. That's so long.
yeah, it's like I spent 100 years partying and drinking and doing like Phil stuff.
Uh huh.
It's kind of weird.
I'm happy for you. That's wonderful.
Yeah.
What
Yeah.
do you think this is a good change or
For me?
no for the city, Aresia?
Oh. Well, I guess time will tell.
Or do you think it's inevitable?
I mean, I think it's okay for them to open up a bit. I mean, the gallery can only hold so many people.
So Reset, your monk senses detect another monk nearby. It's Aresia, so that happens a lot.
A projectile's
yeah.
coming towards you.
Standing silently, except for like Reset. You see this woman from like a long time ago.
She's the owner of the inn we stayed in.
Correct. Yeah.
Forgot her name though.
Wait, who is it?
It is Jocasta.
I don't remember her.
She owns the inn that foreigners stay at, and has permission from Aresian society to do non-Aresian things within the walls of that place. So they serve flavorful food. They play fun music. People can like arm wrestle and tell jokes. And, this guy has a very bad reputation for going there and getting drunk.
Oh, I remember this guy. Okay.
Yeah.
I'll turn around and I'll say, ahoy hoy.
Hoy hoy. It has been a very long time, heroes. I have not forgotten you. I hope you haven't forgotten me and my hospitality. I would very much like for you to come to my inn for a dinner in your honor.
Oh, of course I didn't forget you. You own the inn. Right? Yeah, that inn.
Mm-hmm.
She totally forgot.
I think it's like the White Lotus or something. Is that it? What's the name of the inn?
Man, this is good role playing since it was like over 7 years ago and so much trauma since any of this took place.
You own the lotus.
I don't know if it's the Lotus. I'm trying to remember it. I don't.
She just stares at you.
The low. I'm saying low and seeing if she reacts in any way.
Okay, she's nodding with her eyes. She's nodding with her eyes.
This lotus. Blue. Is she nodding? Blue.
She's shaking her head.
Red.
Black.
No.
White.
I look at the sign. I know. I guess we're at the funeral right here.
Yeah. You're at the
Okay.
funeral.
Ah, damn it.
White.
No, I don't think that was it.
No. Okay. Green. And she's just gonna like go through all the colors without actually saying the color. So she never finishes saying the color.
She says, as she kind of points to her hair.
Orange. Orange.
I'm the owner of the Red Lotus Tavern.
It's close.
Ah,
Yes, you stayed there for many weeks while you performed the labors of Aresia. Do you remember the labors of Aresia?
oh yeah, of
Yes.
course.
The
That
queen paid for all your accommodations. You ate and drank your fill, and no, you.
mm-hmm.
Oh,
There was. I do remember. I remember perfectly, actually. Like
ah.
it was yesterday. Mm-hmm.
Well, I remember your favorite dishes, and I have prepared them for tonight's feast. White fish ramen, za'atar shrimp, and of course the fried everything appetizer plates. Be served with some of our finest wine.
Right. I will let my companions know.
It is appreciated. I just want to show you my gratitude for everything you've done. Not just for Aresia, but for the world. As the owner of a tavern, trade and commerce is so important. And I would be ruined if you had not saved Aresia, if we were under the tyranny of the Titans. And
Exactly.
you do see her little her elf ears kind of poking out of her very big floofy hair. And she does not look like she's aged a day, because elf.
You look exactly the same when I saw you.
You do not.
7 years ago. 7 years ago.
Then I can count on your presence there.
Yes.
Excellent. I will see you at 8. It is late, but it gives you time to take care of any other business you need to.
Do you remember my friends?
Philippocles, son of Pythor, Anastasia,
Yes.
Hypatia of Mitros,
Mm-hmm.
Styrus. I can't actually recall his place
The
of
last
origin.
one. The last Cyrus.
Yes.
He might look a little different now.
Oh yes, he's right over there. He's a.
Give a little wave.
She looks at you quizzically and says, "Sense, it is not in the nature of Aresians to be bothered by the outward appearance of anyone,
It is not. I just wanted to.
unless
sure
they
you
are
knew it was
they
him.
are filthy and unkept."
I just wanted you to know that it was him, so that you would not think that he is not one of us.
Ah, certainly, yes. And you may bring Philippocles' child, the Bullbug.
Yes, he's over there. And I imagine he's.
Why
in
don't
the
we just
corner.
say that each of you can bring a +1?
Can I bring a dragon?
Sure. That one over
Okay.
there? That
Yeah,
seems fine. It's rather small.
Mm-hmm. I will. I'll see you at 8.
Okay. So she disappears back into the crowd, heads over to, back to a restaurant to prepare for the honored guests that are coming tonight.
I'll walk back to Anna and say, "See, perfectly socially adept. 100 years has
Fist bump.
taught me
I do a
much."
fist bump.
I fist bump.
Yes. Okay.
Mhm.
What Jacosta doesn't realize is that dragons have incredible hearing.
Oh.
That one looks small.
Honestly, they're 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 an outsized large. They're definitely not small. They're definitely not
exactly.
small. Yeah,
So it's,
yeah.
Yeah, I'll get everyone. I'll go up to Phil and Cyrus
well,
and
that
say,
sounds fun. I'd like to see her again.
yeah, Phil, Cyrus, we've got a place to stay tonight.
Oh, but would that be disrespectful to the queen to not stay in the palace?
They've got ramen, Phil.
What's that?
Apparently it's something that we liked when we ate here 7 years ago. Uh, I'll be honest, I don't remember her at all. Just
What's that?
pretend when we go there,
It's gonna be a trip when
pretend like you remember her, okay?
Reset.
Yes.
You need to remember. Now that we're together again, when we make decisions, we're doing it forever. I will eat this ramen.
Mm.
It's gonna be crazy when I go back to watch the episode when we came and had it or stayed. And I find out that it was the exact same food that we ate.
Gosh,
no.
that would be incredible. Because I was just reading off the menu and I was like, man, I hope this is what they ate last time they were here. All right. So you guys make preparations to attend this dinner at this tavern. Because of the siege and the war, there really aren't any like foreign like guests in the city besides you guys. So you guys will probably have this place to yourselves, except for any rowdy blooded Aresians who like to come here to sort of unwind uh, in an undignified manner.
Yeah, I was gonna say, wouldn't the Regis is like a novelty at the very least? Like,
Oh, for sure, yeah, yeah.
I might stop
And
in.
it's the same thing that like
like-
Aresian royals will go to on retreats to like their like mountain homes and get super rowdy away from the city. You know, they're kind of like the Amish teens are encouraged to go and get as rowdy as possible before they commit themselves to the full culture of the Amish lifestyle. It's that kind of thing. Like they're still human. They're still human beings. They're still mortals. So they have different ways to go and kind of get that stuff out of the
It's
system.
like medieval times for Norwegians.
Yeah, I guess so. It's more just like rowdy business retreat. You know, like you're the executive all year long. You gotta take good care of your business. You gotta gotta put forth a super professional demeanor. But every now and then you got to do something for yourself. You got to go and like cut loose and that sort of thing. All right, cool. So let's see. All right. I thought I had something to put in the background here. All right. If I find it while we're having this scene, I'll go ahead and throw it in the background. But as you guys go there, the warm interior of this tavern carries the pleasant aroma of roasting seafood and spicy smoke. The main room is dominated by a massive fireplace and filled with boisterous conversation. A familiar, almost 8 years later, an ancient bronze shield decorates the wall above the hearth. Those of you with big brains remember that this is the Shield of Stolos, a legendary artifact of an ancient Aresian hero, the founder of the Temple of the Shield, where the monastic training of shield monks originates. It is said that he is the first amongst such people. So, Reset, you would totally know that, because it's almost like a religious artifact.
Yeah.
Well, or
I'll-
maybe it was for young Reset. Now that you've kind of been out in the world and kind of discovered yourself and the other
She'll-
half of your heritage.
She'll know it's an important shield, but she'll have forgotten the guy's name because she was never really history. Yeah, so she'll stroll in to the front. Is it empty?
Yeah, it's actually just her, a couple of serving people, and then you guys, and there are a couple of musicians that are playing some music.
Hello. Ahoy hoy.
She smiles and says, "Ahoy hoy! I am so glad you did in fact take my invitation. Please, all of you, I have pushed together all of the tables, and a veritable feast will be brought out for us. Tell me, how was the battle against Zakroth?" And you guys can just sort of regale her with the story of your battle and your victory. You know, you by now you've had to tell it many, many times. So
Yeah.
yeah.
I'll be
Yeah,
here.
Phil's at the point of his life where he just says like every fight is just easier than he wanted. He wishes
Yeah, we
Zakroth
kinda
would have put
say
up
it.
more of a fight.
I'm
'Cause
gonna
we
be
don't
very
have
proud
a
of.
bard with us. Yeah. It's kind of just everyone stating exactly what happened.
Okay.
Oh,
I'm gonna be very
there was
proud of my octopi ballista.
lasers.
Oh, very nice, very nice.
Yeah.
She seems excited about the octopi ballista. She loves seafood. So hearing about an octopus doing something is like double wielding ballista is pretty very funny and interesting to her.
Yeah. And then
Right.
there was a big tree, you know.
She says, "Tell me more of this tree."
It was very big.
As big as
It
the Colossus of Mitros?
Reset will say, probably bigger, you know,
Bigger.
because she doesn't remember how big it was.
Like, did you hit your head
Probably,
100
probably
times?
bigger.
What's reach here?
Oh, listen. In Viking land, Reset got 100 years worth of concussions. Those potatoes are well mashed now.
Yep. Bigger. Mm-hmm.
Interesting.
I mean, if you go with the Viking tradition of sagas, you got to make the story sound bigger each time you tell it.
It shot the sun through its face.
You are quite capable heroes. I risk much by inviting you here tonight, but I fear that you are our only hope. And I intend to burden you with a great secret and an even greater decision. In a way, I am about to place my life into your hands. You see Bullbug stop eating his food, and he's like, "Can I be excused? I've had a lot of burdens I'm carrying already. I mean, no offense. I'm kind of maxed out on burdens. Is it okay if I just kind of call it an early night?
Finish your food, Bullbug.
You're coming with us anyway, Bullbug.
Also, you
Speak
guys,
your mind.
you guys remember that you do love whitefish ramen. It's fucking amazing. So, yeah.
Slurping
It's
it
Yeah, I
up.
don't love seafood.
endless bowls of ramen, and then they have a whole the whole table is laid out like tapas style with like ingredients that you could just add to your broth and your noodles. It's good stuff. It's good stuff.
Reset is also thinking at this time that whatever life threatening secret she has is probably like, you know, nothing.
Okay.
Like
Yeah,
she saw.
well, Phil doesn't defeat her, and he tells her, "Speak your mind.
Okay. She says,
We admire your courage."
"I would like your help killing the Queen of Aresia."
At that point, I spit out
And
my food.
and why is that?
Because I fear that she continues to lead us astray. I have it on good authority that the god Narsus is not, in fact, a god at all, but a pretender.
A monster. A dragon. Who has bamboozled our people for centuries. The Queen knows this. In fact, she and her predecessors have lain with the beast. She protects his secret. What other secrets does she keep from the people?
And where did you hear these rumors?
I am well informed. I run a tavern, after all.
So these are being spread among the people?
Yes, there is a large secret movement amongst the populace. We seek a new Aresia, a different Aresia. We want to feel things. We want to publicly show our love and affection for each other, for our neighbors. We want to lift up the weak and the meek and help them to be strong. For too long, we have been led astray from the true and primal feelings that define a mortal life. And we are damaged because of it. How much longer could such a society truly endure? The lives we lead are unnatural. This is the time for revolution. You interrupted our efforts. We knew that the fool Zakroth could never siege the city, not while its incredible defenses remained intact. But it was providing the perfect distraction for us to prepare a civil war from within the walls. With the siege ended, all opportunity we had was quickly dwindling. That is why I'm willing to risk it all. Please, you can help shape the future of our nation. Help us.
And how many would you say there are?
It's like she's making a very big decision. She says, at least half people of Aresia feel as I do. Perhaps more. Others are afraid. Afraid to defy tradition, afraid to defy the Queen, afraid to disappoint Narsus. It always struck me as strange why we would worship such a beautiful and emotion-inducing being, but then be taught to hide those emotions, to bury them deep. Everything about our culture is a confusing double-edged blade. A perfect balance that can so easily be thrown out of balance. It needs to end. And it would have ended if not for you. I am thankful for your aid, your willingness to come and help us when none would. I am thankful that you dissuaded the king Acastus from going to war against us, especially when it would have led to his destruction, the destruction of Mitros. For busy warring with us, he would have been easy prey for Sydon's army. I appreciate you completing the labors of Aresia. I watched as you worked hard, earnestly, to gain the trust of the Queen and the nation. I was there for you. Feeding you, sheltering you, encouraging you, because I felt that what you were doing was right. I felt that Sydon was a tyrant, and that he was a threat to our way of life. But even then, the way of life that I sought, that I represented, that I live and die for, is the true freedom of Aresia. We must let go of these traditions. We must become something new. The world changes, and Aresia must change as well.
You speak of this uprising, this civil war. Who is it that will be leading your faction against the Queen?
You know of him, but you do not know him. I speak of the Shadow Master.
Is that the wolf guy?
No, that is
That's all the
Oh my
shadows. All the shadows of the
painting.
room get darker.
that is literally the master of
Shadow
the
monks.
Shadow Monastery.
Oh,
She stares at you and she says, "You've only been gone from Aresia for 8 years, Rosette. What has happened to you?"
yes, 8 years.
I knew
Okay,
that you would be
okay.
the hardest to convince because you are the pinnacle of Aresian training and Aresian culture. I know that as a girl, you sought nothing more than to serve the Queen as her honor guard, and that your great love, Endis, died, bringing honor to our nation, and that you did not shed a single tear. How it must have pained you. Here in these walls, tears can be shed, and perhaps someday within the walls of the city as well. It is all right to grieve. It is all right to feel.
I will look over to my companions and see what is their reaction to this.
Alright, you've been with Phil for, well, not for a long time, but you spent a good amount of time with Phil. And this lady is speaking of regicide to a king.
I mean, this
Phil
isn't our
just,
first. Yeah, this isn't our first regicide or civil war, actually.
I mean, there's no war without consequences. Like,
But then she smiles wryly, like this character art, and she says, "But perhaps there could be. One of you has very easy access to the Queen."
oh,
We're going to need to speak with the Shadow Master.
Rosette,
but he's already here.
you know that that cannot happen. Shadow Master chooses the time and place of his meeting.
Then I'm going to need to know that you'll have a solid plan for if this does happen to prevent Aresia from
Tearing
destroying itself completely.
tearing itself apart.
Because while you can look at the outcome as if it can only be positive, it could also go very wrong if you're not prepared.
The Shadow Master has a replacement in mind.
And who was that?
Her very big, sort of gray eyes look directly at Reset.
Oh, that's not no.
And
You're gonna need a better plan.
she says, the king who was betrayed. I speak of the Wolf Lord.
Is he actually? Is he in the picture? Is he trapped in the picture? Tell me he's trapped in the picture.
She says, oh, I don't. I mean, he's buried alive in his tomb in the forgotten necropolis outside of town.
Wait, so he's just in there alive?
Yeah, you know that. Damn, Reset. It's only been 8 years. Yes, he.
Look, it's been 8 years for you, but obviously it's been longer for me. Okay.
There was an uprising long ago. There was a disagreement in how the nation of Aresia should proceed and progress and grow. There was an uprising, I suppose similar to the one that is happening now. Many disagreed with Carpathos' method. He was, he was a very passionate man.
What were the methods?
He was a bit violent. Legends say that he carried a curse within him. The curse of the wolf. That he was not merely the Wolf Lord, but the Lord of Wolves. In times when Fengari was in her fullest, it is said that he would lock himself away, for his bestial urges were too powerful and uncontrollable. She lowers her eyelids a bit so that they look kind of hooded, and then she looks right at you, Cyrus, as she says that. They feared his strength and his power, and his curse. A curse that it is said he passed on to those most loyal to him. And what's more, they feared his companion, Jacenna of the Dragonlords, for she bore the curse of blood. It gave her unnatural powers. They sought to make Aresia a nation stronger than any other, a nation that took in those who were cursed and taught them to control those curses, turn inward and make those curses power. But there were others, like his bride, who disagreed. She said that was madness, that only through absolute purity, only through complete control of one's mind and body and emotions could you achieve true strength. She looked ahead and saw a nation that was freed from all feeling, perfectly honed weapons, ready for battle at a moment's notice, never slowed by feelings of doubt or regret or fear. You can see that their two ideologies were just vastly different. In the end, she betrayed him and Jacenna, sealed them away. For such was their curse, that they could never die.
So, your plan is to revolt and replace the leader with another leader that our people has revolted against before.
Well, no. And she kind of like does the thing where you put your two index fingers together, and make pouty face.
I feel like you're going from one end of emotionless to completely turning everyone in Aresia into cursed werewolves.
No, what?
Or blood
Like
vampires.
there's got to be an in between somewhere.
And now you understand. We take everything that we've learned. We show Carpelos that his way was also wrong, and that only a marriage of the two ideologies could make his plan work and could make the Queen's plan sustainable.
Without the queen.
Wait,
Well,
so
Can you give
yes,
us a moment?
Queen Helen is a jealous, power-hungry dictator. She would never give up the throne.
Can
Even
you
now, she seeks an heir to carry on her madness. Oh yes, a hero huddle, of course. And she busies herself taking plates to the kitchen, and she calls out, "Dessert? I have a tiramisu."
it sounds
What?
like they haven't even spoken to this Carpathos.
It's like a cookie pudding.
Sure.
All right. And she
Um,
closes the door of the kitchen.
yeah. So,
I'm gonna
this
be
is-
honest. I
this
don't think Arisians are very good at making plans. As you can tell.
I mean,
Ira
Helen,
says, I learned that from you, Reset.
I
learned
know,
that
I
from
know.
you.
all this lady has given us is food. Queen Helen has given us aid in the war.
How's it gonna
She's
look
given
when?
us leave to speak to Narsus. She trusts us as her ally.
How's it gonna look when we accept the gracious boat, and then suddenly they're gone? Like what? I don't know. Like this is all very important.
Phil, you've spoken to Helen. What was she like I guess, with you? The same?
She actually let her guard down quite a bit. I was shocked. If she understood, she may not be, she may be amendable, but this is just the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard.
And it's just definitely amazed by how quickly things have been moving, and this is great research for
I want to just take her to the queen and leave her as a gift.
Well, she's not the one in charge.
Yeah, but she's got the answers that the queen
I
needs.
feel like it'll happen eventually, won't it?
We could just let her know what's happening. Or you could just drop
Yeah, that's what I was.
an idea.
She
then.
might be aware.
Yeah.
I don't imagine Queen Helen's the kind of person that would not know about that kind of thing.
I just don't think if this revolt went through, it would go well at all. It's nothing like what happened with Themis. Right? Themis we had
So much death.
we had replacements, we had a lot more structure
Look,
to it.
it's dark out. Hear me out. I knock and brought out. She can't scream. I just fly her and drop her in the queen's palace. Boom, problem solved. Here's a gift. All I'm saying is, if I was in Astoria and there were rumors of rebellion, how do you think do you think I would not want to? I would want to know that.
Well, I think it's fine to let her know, but I don't think you need to just grab this this lady and drop her off.
I mean, Phil, I mean, my sister's a queen, and like, there's like civil war threat and insurrectionists and terrorist cells and organized crime, and I mean that's just all the time. Like, if Valis went after every single person, every single rumor that didn't agree with her and Acastus, like they would be tyrants. They would be reviled. The people would be constantly in fear or losing respect for her and Acastus, thinking that they were weak because they were always frightened of every little rumor, of every possible threat. That's not how you and Honora are managing Astoria, right?
No, I've never heard of anything like that.
Kyra gives Anastasia a look like, because...
Yeah.
Well,
This is all very good. I need to know all this kind of stuff.
Helen has been Queen of Aresia for as long as I can remember. Well, I guess to me over 100 years. So I mean, she knows what to do.
Also, she's a very powerful
Yeah,
sorceress.
yeah.
isn't she?
You know, I might just be being shh about
You
this.
can
I
just
don't know.
yeah, you can
I'll
just
just
let her know,
I'll let her know. I'll just
and she can take care of it.
yeah,
So,
that's fine. But what are we gonna tell her? This is the crazy. I don't want to eat her food anymore.
Oh,
To be
in the-
honest, it was delicious.
Well, I'm very good at distracting people from
Also, aren't we under
what
like
they were talking about.
Aren't we under like the oath of hospitality because we came into her
Yes.
place and ate her food? So
Yes,
Yeah,
Mm.
you
Which
guys,
is why
you
you
guys
shouldn't-
definitely, you guys definitely felt the bond of that when you sat down and began to sup.
yeah. What you could do, Phil, is
So
when you're-
Phil, you could have gotten to hang out with your dad. You could have gotten to hang out with your dad, but
Hey,
yeah,
hey.
they just ruined
You
that
know
for
what?
you.
Part of Phil, you should see one of.
Yeah.
yeah, what you can do
Then
is
you guys
when
could
you go
break out
see-
on the island together. Be like a prison break episode.
when you go meet with Helen, you can just try to soften her up somewhere.
Wait. If you meet with Helen to get, like, wait a minute. First, hold on. Wait a second. Why do you have an easy access to Helen? Didn't if you?
it seems
What's
like
that
they talked
concern
really
you?
well when he told us.
Yeah.
Look, all right. I'm not good with secrets. I don't like to keep them, and I
Mhm.
never will.
Sure. She tried to
Wait.
bone you.
Helen wants me to give her a child.
Oh my god. Oh wow. Oh, what? Oh man, you are your father's son. Wow.
What do you mean?
Okay.
I didn't.
Uh-huh.
I told her I need to talk to my wife first.
Oh, right. Character growth. Right. Okay.
Do you need sending?
Oh my
I'm not gonna
gosh. Is that
ask
really
her
a conversation you have over
no,
sending
yeah,
a
no,
set?
25 words.
it's not. It's not. Can I beg Helen?
Hey babe,
comma
can I?
space could be good for a story.
Listen. I know your wife pretty well, and I think that she'd be okay with like a political banging. I don't think she would be okay with
think
a
she-
political baby. I think that
Oh,
might be
look,
crossing the
look.
line.
Look, that's why I'm gonna talk to her about it.
And how does this lady know that you were gonna have a wait?
Wait,
They-
I just had an
Hmm?
idea.
Mhm.
Kind of. What if that guy's alive, the guy in the tomb?
Buried alive too. That's the worst. Ugh.
Yeah,
That's the
I
worst.
can't imagine he's gonna be very happy.
Ugh.
what
That's
if-
like every long-lived / immortal's like worst nightmare. It's being buried alive. Oh my
Well,
god.
if you're strong
now,
enough,
turn
you
to
just
stone's
take
pretty
your way
bad.
out.
Magic, Phil. Magic.
Anyway, so okay, hypothetically, what if we go talk to that guy if he's alive, and
Oh.
maybe we can get him and Helen talking,
What?
and
The guy's been in there for 150
Look,
years.
Why
at
don't
least
we leave?
He's been there a lot longer than that.
Why don't we just leave Aresia to deal with its problems.
I think Helen will be fine.
Why don't we not commit regicide?
Oh, history buff Hypatia would probably mention at this point, well, you know what's really fucked up? I don't know if she'd say fucked up. You know what's really screwed up?
I would say fucked up.
If Narsus is who I think he is, which is to say Aristanar, or Aristanar, then his rider that he was talking about was Jacenna Ventrak, who died. But apparently she didn't die if she was buried alive with Carpathos. And I don't know if Narsus knows that. And this is getting very complicated.
Yeah.
You know,
Oh shit!
we've got like
And
divine
Anastasia eats
fire.
eats a bit more of the fish, and like you see
And a
that she
Hades
spiced it.
Aris says, I love the oath of hospitality because this is the kind of situation, let me tell you, this is the kind of situation back in my home world, we'd be making constitution saves right now because this lady would have totally poisoned us by now.
Yeah. You see, Anastasia has she added a lot of spice, like a lot more than you should add.
Mm-mm.
It seems to be doing okay with it.
I didn't come back from the north to deal with a revolt, you know? There's a fire we have to get.
Yeah,
Oh,
speaking of which, Cyrus, how did that go? How'd your communing with your mutual acquaintance go? How's she doing?
She's doing well. Apparently, Godhood is treating her well.
Must be nice having super speed. I don't miss it at all. That's fine.
Anyway, apparently the fire is in the mall guarded by Scylla.
I thought the sirens were being guarded by Scylla.
Apparently, they're both there.
Oh my gosh!
And it just like falls into the.
I think
No.
Sydon seems to be the king of putting all his eggs in one basket.
Wait,
Wait.
good. This is good. This is a 2 eggs, 2 birds, 1 stone situation.
Wait, but he's telling us to get that first. Anna is.
Soul
We're getting the ambrosia.
Soul pecks your arm and shakes her head no. And then Kyra sees that and says, "Oh no! I'm pretty sure he just wants us to go to literal hell first."
We've been to the Nyx, Kara.
I mean, that's like
It's
hell
not
light.
as bad as it seems.
That's like hell light.
Yeah, this realm of pandemonium. That does not sound fun.
You should hear what some of the people in the north have to say about their underworld. Whew.
Their creation myths.
Yeah.
Wait, so does every realm or whatever have its own hell?
OOC. I'm
underworld?
pretty sure hell, with one L, is next door neighbors to Hades. In the D&D cosmology. So, and that would be the Viking equivalent of hell.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, so these places, they all just have their own underworld?
Yeah.
Is that how it works?
Yeah.
Yeah. Is it time for the talk? Oof.
I mean, Phil, we had our own Titan of death, you know? Yeah, I mean, Lutheria didn't take care of
There's so
everyone.
many people everywhere, right? Like, you can't expect
I didn't see any
one god of
Vikings
death
there.
to be enough, right?
So, Phil, you remember climbing the tower, right?
Yeah, there's...
The windows, and they looked out onto other places. I'm getting it right, right, Anna. I didn't get to go in the tower.
Yeah, I
but-
remember seeing a eviscerated body, and
The
you were
heroes,
crying
yeah.
over me. Yeah, and Vulcan was there, but he was dead.
Right, but that didn't really happen.
Yeah. So
And
it's
then
good.
Hypatia, sipping her ramen, says, "Not in this timeline."
Oh my gosh.
Right. So we're like, look at this bowl of ramen. See that little green onion? Like, that's us. But then the rest of the bowl of ramen, that's like everything else. And when I say us, I mean the whole world of Thylea is that little green onion. and then this bowl of ramen is what's near us, and then this whole table of toppings and other bowls of ramen, that's even more of what there is. Like, we're that small in the big scheme of all of it.
Oh.
Yeah. And if you look at this little mushroom, that's where me and Astreus and everybody came from. And we came here because my mom had like a vision that this world was like in peril, and we were like sort of like superheroes, you know, like kind of just going from world to world, saving everybody, you know. Yeah.
And you had your own hell too.
Yeah. I mean, the best defense against hell is just don't have religion, honestly. So then it's just a place, not a destination. And she waggles her eyebrows at you. You can actually write that one down. It's pretty smooth. So
Okay, so this so what you're saying is that movie wasn't just a movie. It was more like a documentary.
Every movie, every play, every story is true somewhere.
Okay.
Are you telling me that right now we're somebody else's story?
Oh yeah. Like, there could be a timeline where there's just like 5 or 6 random people, and they're using some weird artifice to communicate over great distances, and they're pretending to be us doing this stuff that we're doing right now. And whenever they can't agree on something, they just I don't know, roll dice or something to determine if it actually happens.
No.
You're starting crazy.
Yeah, I don't know. It sounded good. I don't know. All right, I'm sorry.
Stream's going down.
Yeah, that was weird. Sorry. My bad. But maybe.
I would like to insider. Here's my expiration.
Ooh.
Oh damn.
12?
You get the feeling that she might be onto something, and it make your brain hurt, and your soul. The spark of valor demands that you slay your aunt, so that these secrets cannot get out.
I reach for my rod.
Oh, you fucking try, buddy.
Anyway,
Mr. Intelligence save. I have you. Be done in 2 seconds.
Legendary resistance.
she
Will
says-
she survive the round?
Anyways,
Roll dice to survive.
here, look at this. And she clears the table, and she takes out a map from her small backpack, and she says, so this right here, hold on. I'm trying to show you. Nope, it's being dumb. Here we go. Behold, the Great Wheel. Do you see it?
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. So it kind of looks like I don't know.
Oh, there's pandemonium.
Maybe like a pomegranate. I don't know. Oh yeah. So we are in the see that ring that says Et Herial Plane right there? I think that's Latin. So Et Herial Plane is where we're at. We're somewhere in that area. And then me and Astreus and everybody, we came from this place right here, the Material Plane. See? And then yeah. So you'll see that there's like a lot of room here for other places. So within these places are other worlds than these. Do you see what I'm saying? And so it sounds like we have to go to this pandemonium place, but our real destination is this Hades place. But we have to go to this pandemonium place because apparently we have a way to get there, and we don't really have a way to get to Hades. Because this world is sort of cut off from like all of this. But when you asked about heavens and hell, Phil, this is like where it says like positive plane and negative plane. Like towards the positive end of things, that's where like the heavens are. For example, there's Elysium, where everybody goes when they die. If they led a good life and Lutheria actually filled out her paperwork. I think a lot of people are finally going there, though, with Astraeus. He's working super hard. And then down here is Hades. That's where the souls would go, but they sort of co-opted the normal progression of death, and they try to keep all the souls here, and unless they've been really, really good, and then they get to go to Elysium. But normally, I think they were supposed to go here because that's opposite on the wheel from Elysium. Anyways, so other worlds have different kinds of heavens. Like this one over here, Mount Celestia, is like super lame. Like everybody there is like really full of themselves, and they like to boss everybody around and stuff. Cyrus, you'd like this one. This is where animals go. All dogs go to heaven. You familiar with that? It goes. That's what that's based on. The Beastlands. And if you're like really into animals, if you know what I mean, you get to go to the Beastlands when you die, and you become your favorite animal. It's pretty neat. Yeah. Oh, and then Reset, where you were hanging out for 100 years, their heaven's over here. It's this Yeastgard. Yeah. So they probably threw that around a lot. That's
It's
where
like
they're
every
all trying to
sentence,
go.
yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so anyways, it's real complicated, it's really big, it's very exhausting, but
What is this? The Abyss.
oh,
That sounds pretty cool.
ooh, yeah. So that is basically infinite flavors of evil.
Oh.
Yeah.
Sounds less cool.
Yeah.
Why does a place like that even exist?
Because it has to, that all the evil in the multiverse has to go somewhere.
Why can't you just get rid of it?
Well, when you get rid of it, that's where it goes. It's like the trash can.
And you gotta empty out the trash every now and then.
Yeah, they tried that. It doesn't really work so good.
Oh, fire! That's where you're from, Soul, right?
Yeah,
Or-
Soul nods eagerly, kind of points with a little feather at fire, nods enthusiastically.
Is it
Yeah.
nice
Don't
there?
Don't you guys just want to visit all of these places?
I mean,
Kinda.
Kyra's like, yeah, it was great.
You promised
I
me.
bet that group of people that were pretending to be us wishes they could visit all these places and play forever.
Might be outside of the scope.
Wow. Well, maybe someday soon they'll. Anyways, so yeah, she tries to kind of like catch you guys up on this planar cosmology, essentially. So I will make this great wheel handout available to you guys. We'll assume that anytime you want access to it, she will pull it out of her backpack so you can take a look at it.
What's this coffee stain behind everything? Behind the wheel.
Oh gosh, yeah, that's the far realm.
I would be.
No, it is. Why are you laughing? It's the edge of reality. That's where. Oh, the edge. Oh, yeah. That's what Lucy's always talking about.
Oh no.
Yeah, this is the beyond this wheel. What you see in the background, as my lovely wife described as a coffee stain. Yeah, that's beyond understanding. That is pure and complete madness. Pandemonium is understandable madness. Limbo is understandable chaos. But beyond that is the unfathomable. Things that even the gods themselves don't dare think about or try to comprehend.
Yeah, it sounds pretty
Even
bad.
if you try, you probably can't think of it.
Yeah, it doesn't stop people from trying, though, and then they inevitably go crazy. There was this really racist guy. He wrote some books about it, but anyways, it was a whole thing. They were kind of spooky, but not really.
Anyway, we have all this we have to do, Phil. So, maybe you should ask your queen about
your
the baby.
queen. LOL.
About the baby.
Okay.
And then we will leave Aresia to do their thing.
Oh,
Phil is just like staring at this map, wishing he had his +6 intelligence back, thinking of a time when he could comprehend great things like this.
no.
And he's like, yeah, you're right. One thing at a time. Can the boat go to these places? Do we even need this boat?
No, but maybe there's a cave somewhere.
That we could sail the boat
Well, we
through.
kind of need the boat. I don't like flying across the ocean. Like, it's tiring to fly all the time. Like, we at least need a boat to get around Thylea.
Alright, how about we do this?
But I mean,
You-
there were boats that could travel to different realms.
Could we make this boat do that?
I mean, my dad knows how.
Okay, so that's perfect. The Mithril Mines is right next to Astoria.
Do you see the darker coffee stain in the inside of the pomegranate, like where the air and the water and the earth and stuff is,
Yeah.
all that stuff? Yeah, there's ships that like fly around in that stuff.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we're gonna go to Astoria and we're gonna have dinner, and then we're gonna go to talk to Grandpa, and then
Mhm.
we'll drop the kids off, and we'll go explore the pomegranate.
Okay.
And we will not give any notice to Aresian Rebellion. I just don't. And I'm not going to betray Helen.
Heroes, are you done with your hero huddle? I have the tiramisu. It's getting room temperature.
No, I have one more just crazy idea that I wanted to put out there.
Okay, I'll wait.
So the Wolf Lord guy, what if we go talk to him and maybe set him up on a date with Helen, and then she can have the kid they want, and then eventually, that,
I don't think that's gonna end up.
I don't think that's.
Also, wouldn't that be like our great grandpa or something?
Would it?
Yeah.
Oh
Also,
gosh,
Yeah,
I'm
because
sorry, I said
this
it.
Carpelos guy, he was like married to 2 different women, right? He was married to Jacenna, and then he was also married to, and then she stares at Hypatia and just lets the 2 kind of hang in the air, and then Hypatia's like Queen Nemesine, and then Car's like exactly.
Okay, yeah, I don't.
Yeah.
I don't think that's gonna solve more problems than it causes. I don't think we should.
And
do it.
honestly, it'll cause more because
Also, if you were buried alive for what 5 centuries, would you really be in the mood to do anything besides I don't know rampage?
kill everything.
Yeah.
Also,
That is straight Archer Rampage.
Just Jacenna is in there. We don't want to free Jacenna too, because then Narsus is gonna be all Jacenna, and then it's just gonna make things more complicated.
Oh yeah. You want to talk about free loving? Narsus and Jacenna, oof, they were getting it on all the time.
Yeah, let's just pretend we don't know.
Oh, you know what's really fun? I shouldn't tell you this, but so, all right, I'll tell you anyways. So, Carpathos was such an edgelord that he had Jacenna give the curse of blood to his dragon.
Does that mean
Yep.
Aristodor is a vampire dragon? Oh, that's why I look. Well, I wouldn't know this in character. Why he looks so beautiful.
Wait,
Yeah.
why? Who's a what? A vampire dragon? Who?
No, not Narsus.
I
His dragon.
No, Narcissus is a vampire. That's ridiculous. No, maybe a Twilight vampire.
Sorry, I'm getting there's lots of new information coming, and I'm
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 sorry,
having
I'm sorry.
difficulty processing.
No. His dragon was named. What was it?
Well, 'cause-
we called her Mal. It was Mal something. Malazine, Malzino, something like that.
Okay, but Narcissus
Albino.
writer also died, right? That's
Yeah,
what you told us. Yeah. Okay.
she had all these like little pet bugs. It was really weird. She wear them like a scarf. It was a whole thing.
Okay, yeah. I sense if we open the crypt, there's gonna be another boss battle, and I'd rather not do that.
Oh, do you think they buried her
I
alive
mean-
too?
I
Well,
wouldn't mind a
you just
fight,
said
but
you said a name of something that sounds like it would be a boss monster.
Oh, like a super dope boss monster
Yeah,
based
like
on another super dope
a
boss monster.
monster. Yeah,
Oh yeah.
that people would have to hunt. So
Yeah.
I would rather not do that.
I wouldn't want to fight her. She was a real bad bitch. I mean, she was. I'm gonna put it out there. She was maybe stronger than my mom. So
Yeah, let's not.
yeah, and she was quite an edgelord herself. So the three of them were so edgy. You could just like walk up with a plate of fruit, and you had a fruit salad.
speaking of fruit salad,
Hmm?
I don't know what tiramisu is, but I've lost my appetite.
Can we?
Well,
I
we
want
have to finish the meal, Phil. You have to.
Yeah.
Oh,
Why don't you-
heroes! Is it okay now? I have coffee and
Just give it to Cyrus. Give it to
dessert
Cyrus.
wines.
Cyrus, you want tiramisu? You want tiramisu?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. She kicks open the door, and she and the two servants bring out a huge tiramisu, a plate of tarts, and dessert wines, and a coffee platter, so that you can set up your coffee however you like.
Oh, this is wonderful. This is wonderful.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I hope
can
that my
talk to you?
hospitality has encouraged you to help us commit, regicide and
Okay, well,
insurrection
it
and
is
civil war.
getting late. It is
Mhm.
getting late. So my companions are gonna finish their dessert, and then
Oh, sure. You'll be
we're gonna go
completely safe
stay.
sleeping upstairs under my roof.
We do have
No
a
matter
few
what
things.
your answer is.
We have a few heroic things we need
Oh,
to
sure.
do.
Yeah. Okay.
But I don't really have much to do. So do you want to play some 20 squares?
I would love to play 20 squares.
Yeah. Well, we're gonna be playing 20 squares like for a while.
All right,
So
Phil leaves.
yeah, that's my cue to let them leave.
Okay. All right. So
And
you're all able to escape. Bulbug
basically,
eats all of the tiramisu if nobody else has any.
I'll have the eating competition with him.
Oh my god, it's so fucking good. Now listen, as a kid that grew up in Italy, I hate tiramisu. Like I hate it. My mom makes an amazing tiramisu, and I could never get into it. You give me some,
because they
you give me
put
some real,
lady figures in it.
yeah. You give, and again, growing up in Italy, I was getting the real deal stuff, like the real deal stuff, and I still didn't like it. But man, you give me some real gelato. There's a place in town
Oh, I love gelato.
that's got real gelato. Oh my god, I go there every payday. I got myself a small hazelnut gelato.
Nicoletti's.
No, it's the candy shop in downtown Leonardtown.
Oh, okay.
Heritage Chocolates, yeah. So, hashtag not a sponsor. But yeah, it's all right. So I guess that's a good place to leave off.
So what I'm doing is I'm just counting on after playing 20 squares, she's just gonna forget to ask me about the revolt. And if I have to, I'll play like 2 or 3 games with her until she completely gives up.
Oh my god.
So you destroy her brain.
Much to your displeasure, she is a high-level bard, and thus very good.
It's
Very
okay.
good. Yeah.
We keep playing until she forgets.
And
Sounds like we need some
as an elf, she only requires 4 hours of sleep. So yeah.
And also, you challenged her so that she.
Oh, no!
So if she wins, that means you have to do regicide.
Oh shit!
Too late now.
Oh, we will say that it was a friendly game.
Obviously,
It was a friendly game.
yeah.
And but you're realizing through this match that she is quite intelligent. She is obviously a high-ranking operative in the Shadow Masters organization, and maybe she always has been. Maybe you were being scouted 7.5 years ago.
I don't
All right.
remember that.
All right, so we'll leave off there. Good stuff. All right. I hope you are not overburdened with information, but there is definitely a lot happening in the world, especially this small corner of the world. So whatever you guys are at the level where the decisions that you make shape the entire world. This is not small potatoes anymore. This is everything you do, everything you say, everything you promise, everything you endorse. It has weight. So, yeah. So hopefully we can catch Hypatia up on, or they're able to kind of listen in and be caught up by next week, because you guys have a lot of decisions to make. There's a lot going on here. So definitely feel free during the week to discuss it on the Discord and figure out your next move. Whew. All right, quick announcements. Extra Life, it's going to be a 3-day event, so there's not going to be a single 24/25 hour marathon, because found out today that apparently fucking Maryland voted to keep daylight savings time, so fuck my life. So yeah, there's going to be daylight savings time. It's going to make the 24-hour marathon 25 hours, but that doesn't matter because we're going to run events for 3 days. There is a spreadsheet on the server that has commenting enabled, so you can go and like claim spots. There's like 3 different lists, so there could be overlapping events if there's popular times that people want to do things. But if you would like to book a time to run an event, even if that event is like, my name is Remy and I've played at a bunch of games and I'm pretty good at Dungeons and Dragons, and I'm going to answer any questions you might have for the next 2 hours. And you want to have like a pseudo panel, like you're at a convention or whatever, that's cool too. Like anything that you want to do and you think that might be fun or interesting, you are encouraged to do that. We're trying to turn our Discord server into sort of a mini online charity convention for those 3 days. That would be November 4th, 5th, and 6th, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. I've already reached out to last year's support, and many of them have gotten back to me. We're also looking at new sponsors this year, so there will be prizes given out throughout the weekend. And as always, donations can be made directly to your quote-unquote account by yourself or people that you bamboozle into donating, or fans that you have acquired over the years, and you can then in turn use those donations to cheat at Dungeons and Dragons in whatever adventure you are playing in. So that should be pretty fun. Yeah, I myself am going to run at least, I'm going to say probably 6 games over 3 days. So it'll still end up being a 24-hour marathon for me, but it'll just be spread out over 3 days. But I know that Conti's running 1 or 2 games. Red's going to run a game.
I'm gonna run 2 for sure, maybe a third one depending on I don't want. I don't know how many events are going to happen, so we'll see what the sign-up sheet says. But yeah.
And then I know Will's going to run a game. I know some people were hoping to run a Magic tournament, and I know that I just want everybody to hang out and play some Jackbox at one point, so that'd be pretty fun. So it doesn't always have to be like super organized. If you just want to like throw out suggestions for stuff we could do, please take a look at that. It's in the announcements on our Discord. So, and I think that's about it for now. I don't want to overwhelm everybody. There's a lot going on this time of year. So, anybody else have announcements? Any shouts for projects you're working on or things you want to draw attention to?
No.
All right, cool. In that case, I hope everybody has a safe, healthy week, and I will see you guys around the Discord, and we'll continue this next week.
All right.
All right. See everyone next week.
Night.
Good night, everyone.
Hey.